Good evening, Crimson Tide Nation, and welcome to the 64th edition of the Alabama Crimson Tide Live Show, the call-in show, all from yours truly, Jackson Johnson. My co-host, Jeffrey, and Only Talk Sports will be here in just a little bit taking your calls. And we've got a star-studded lineup in the call-in lineup coming in just a little bit. Let me tell you, you're going to be in for a wild ride, a fun ride, a good time for a long time, all right here, as you always are. But before we get to our first call of the night, we started off with a $5 super chat from our good buddy, Sports Talk with Austin, saying, I hope everyone had a happy and safe holiday season. We are officially on the road to the Rose Bowl on January 1st. History awaits. Hashtag never give up. Hashtag HLR. We appreciate the $5 super chat, good buddy. We appreciate you very much. And of course, we've got some Crimson Tide merch. You know, I saw some Valentine's Day merch at the grocery store when I was doing like last minute shopping, right? Really shouldn't wait till last minute when Christmas shopping, my advice, of course. But I saw some Valentine's Day merch. That means one thing. That really means one thing. It's never too late to get an early head start. You know, it's never too early and it's never too late to check out the merch that we've got all right here on Alabama with the Voice of College Football, where we've got the dad hat, the trucker hat, the t-shirt, the sweatshirt, the heavyweight t-shirt, the polo shirt, the game day mug, the tumbler cup, and the can cooler. We've got it all right here on Alabama at the Voice of College Football at vocfbshop.com/merch/Alabama. We've got it all right there. And he is the first caller of the night. And he is a YouTube member, an OG member on Alabama's Voice College Football. You hear him, you know him, you see him, and you love him. Give it up for Godfather of the SEC. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
You love him, you like him, you hate him, you cut him off, you turn him on. What's going on, Jackson? What's happening?
Oh, it's going pretty good. Just getting ready for the granddaddy of them all on next Thursday night. It's going to be a wild ride, man.
Yeah, I got to see the Rose Bowl in 2010 when Alabama played Texas. It's a it's an old stadium. It needed quite a bit of updating when I was out there then. I mean, I think they've already done that. The bathroom situation was pretty grim, but it's an old classic. It's an old classic football field, and there's been a lot of great games won in the Rose Bowl, won and played in the Rose Bowl.
Oh, no doubt. And what's funny, though, is we're going to get to play on the 100th anniversary of the game that changed the South, the 1926 Rose Bowl, where we defeated the Washington Huskies. But that's going to be fun right there.
100 years. That's a long time.
And it's funny, though, because I was watching our Rose Bowl hero from the 1926 Rose Bowl, Johnny Matt Brown, you know, making that magic, although we don't technically see highlights, but I see like the pictures. Like he was just making magic all over the place for the Crimson Tide. And then afterwards, he was making magic in the Westerns and just making magic throughout the movies. And he was making guest appearances on Tales of Wells Fargo as a crooked sheriff, though. And I don't think he played like a bad guy, but he played as like a witness on Perry Mason. Like I was like, wow, you go from the Rose Bowl to playing a crooked sheriff. Come on, man, that's not right. That's
Yeah.
not what Rose Bowl hero should do. Rose Bowl hero should not play a crooked sheriff.
From the Rose Bowl to the silver screen. That's what Johnny McBrown done. Sure did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like Keith Jackson said that, you know, he didn't have to go to a drugstore to get recognized.
You know, everybody knew Johnny McBrown. They knew him when he walked down the street. I mean, he had a career. I mean, most people just dream about having, you know, us living a life like that. It's kind of like a dream for most of us. But there's been a lot of guys that's been able to do that throughout their lives. So, been blessed to play football, be an actor, or do both or win a national championship in college and then go to a professional team and win a Super Bowl with a that's kind of hard to do. I mean, it's I don't know. Sometimes you might have a better chance of winning the lottery and winning the Natty and then going to a team and winning the Super Bowl too. I mean, that's pretty hard to do.
Oh, no doubt. That's 100%. You're right on that, Godfather. Like it's hard to do, but and what else is hard to do is scoring 20 unanswered points in the third quarter. That was fun right there.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I watched it. I watched it. I didn't rewatch it. I never was a guy to rewatch football games. I mean, I have. Don't get me wrong. We all have, but I just never was. I just don't. I think we talked about that this evening. I may be completely wrong here, but it looked like to me that Alabama just kind of figured Oklahoma out, and Oklahoma they got them a little nervous, and Oklahoma
Yeah.
made mistakes, and when they made those mistakes, Alabama jumped on the mistakes, and they couldn't dig their way back out of the hole, in my opinion.
Oh man, that was fun seeing just smacking Oklahoma off the face of the earth last week. Like in the second quarter and in the second half. That was fun right there. And I do hope we could be able to have some big plays against Indiana in the Rose Bowl because like that's one thing Indiana cannot allow is have big explosive plays on defense allowed. They can't do that. That's what almost cost them against Penn State on November 8th on big noon kickoff.
Well, Alabama, we'd have made the field goal in the regular, part of the season. We'd have beat Oklahoma 24-23, but we missed that field goal. So I mean, we played them right to the bitter end during the regular season. Of course, they got us at Bryant Denny, but Talty he just come short that day. I think if we'd I believe I don't believe I know he would have. If he'd have got that field goal, we'd have won the ball game. I'm pretty sure. Am I thinking correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talty did all right, against Oklahoma in the rematch,
Oh yeah.
but Oklahoma's kicker was not doing so well.
I think he won the what is it? Groza Award, isn't that what they call it?
Yeah, the Lou Graza Award.
I think. Well, he missed two field goals. I'll tell you that one that they called right there. It later. What was it in the latter in the third? I think in the last part of the third quarter, or it might have been in the early parts of the fourth quarter, where man, that was class a close call right there. I mean, that ball's got to be inside. They say it's got to be inside that goalpost, and it split that goalpost right in the middle. So I don't know how you call that. It looked like to me it was good, but I can't make the call.
Oh, he was. Yeah, Oklahoma's kicker was just short. That wind velocity just got him right there.
Oh yeah, that was a tough one to swallow right there. You could tell by the look, and he watched it all the way. You could tell by the look on his face. Yeah, I missed it. He could see it, but
Oh, no
it
doubt.
could have would either way with these officials. You know how they are nowadays. They do what they want to. I reckon they think they pretty much in control of the football game since the NCAA does nothing with them anymore, calling these outrageous and outlandish down penalties every time you turn around. Uh, I mean, blatant stuff right in front of your face. How do you miss stuff like that? I'll let Jeffrey get on the tie run after a while about that. I'll leave it alone. But
Oh, there we go.
the last 10 years of myself watching football, college and NFL, uh, the referees have done nothing but stink.
Oh, they do.
I'm sorry. I mean, Coach Bryant always said, I think every team does it, but Coach Bryant always said, as he sees referees when they practice every day, call it down the line. If somebody's offside, somebody makes a hold or illegal hit, he had referees on the field when they practice every day. And like I said, I'm pretty sure most all these other teams do the same thing, but I don't know. I don't know what they're looking at sometimes. We always thought, and then I'll wrap it up kind of with instant replay. We always thought when they, introduced instant replay that these outlandish, crazy calls would be taken care of. hell, they miss the ones when they look at it back on the review. The way I look at it, I mean, some of it is just I don't know. Some people claim, well, they might be getting some money slipped in their pocket. I don't know about all of that stuff, but I mean, they've made some outrageous calls that cost teams football games.
Yeah.
I mean, whether you like it or not, the Saints, and who was it? The Saints when that was a blatant pass interference to go to the Super Bowl. Who was that? Who was playing the Saints? I can't remember. Who was it?
Oh, what are we talking about?
NFL when they made that blatant, pass interference call, and it's right there in front of the referee. He didn't even call it. The Saints was playing down at the Superdome to go to the Super Bowl. I think Richie probably remembers it. I can't remember which team they were playing, but man, I thought to myself, what is that? What is that referee doing? Is he need to see an eye dog or what?
Mm.
I
Oh
mean,
man.
it was just a blatant pass interference call. He run over him like a motor grader. I
Oh
mean,
man.
yeah, there's been some crazy stuff happen. But anyway, it's always fun to be here on Thursday night. I get Rich in here because he can talk more about this recruiting and stuff with you. But I've been keeping up with it pretty good a little bit here lately. We've got some good we've got hold of some good people, some good kids. Maybe that we can we've lost Nick Sheridan. I don't know if that's a great loss or bad loss, good loss. I mean Sheridan. What's your opinion on it?
Oh, we're still kind of waiting and seeing on how that's going to affect Alabama on losing Sheridan. I mean, it's kind of a big loss, but I know we can always have that next man up for Alabama. We're usually pretty good about it. Matter of fact, Trevi and I talked a little bit about it today on Crimson Tide Live. We're kind of like we're on wait and see mode, hoping it doesn't hurt too much.
Where did Muschamp go to? Did he go down to LSU with Lane Kiffin? I know he left Georgia. Did he go to LSU?
No, he went to Texas.
That's right, Texas. That's exactly right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Texas made a big mistake getting rid of Katowski.
Well, Muschamp used to have the fire. He's getting older too. He's in his early 50s. I mean, I don't know. I think he's a pretty good football coach. I don't think he's the best defensive coordinator ever, but he's certainly not the worst one. But he's been around some great coaches. He ought to know how to do it. The way I look at it.
Oh, no doubt, man. No doubt.
I mean, but anyway, all right. I'll get off here and we'll hop in the chat.
Well, actually, I was thinking, we can do like a little surprise actually for our co-host Jeffrey. Just kind of like do a little party for him. Got for you?
Yes. Jeffrey bringing the food?
Well, not yet. I don't think we got any food, but we got and he's back after a long while, and the mustache is gone, but it's the Richie Rich.
How y'all doing tonight?
Long time no see, good buddy. How have you been?
I've been okay. I got some really cool news to share with you guys. So y'all were talking recruiting and such. I got some really cool news. Well, one of them's really, really bad news. Don't know. It's a 3-month process, but it'll be fine. First and foremost, I agree with you guys on the whole refs. Auburn, Oklahoma brought me right back to my statement of SEC refs are garbage. Now, the game was in where? Norman. So Auburn had to go on the road, but even Auburn folks, we all are Tiders. But I told Auburn folks, I said, you guys were robbed in that game, whether you believe it or not. I'm not really, I'm the one Alabama guy you'll meet that will always give love to Auburn until we play him, and then it's down goes the Tigers, okay? Because I have to watch him just in case some of those guys leave and start getting looked at by Bama. I don't know how true this is, but we could see Cam Coleman get a look at for Bama. That kid's really good. That's the first one. Second one is we just lost Bear Fretwell. So Bear Fretwell just tore his ACL, MCL, and fractured his femur. He was in the All-Star game. He's in our 26 class, and he was playing in an American game, the All-Star game, and he stepped. Well, this is as best as I know. I'm going to paraphrase it. They threw an interception. He went to go chase the ball, and chased the guy that caught the interception. They said he stepped wrong, and that's when his leg went a certain way, And I want to say he told us on Instagram Live that one of I think it was the 49ers O-line coach or someone was at the game, and he said that they looked at his knee and they could move it and it was out of place. And when they saw that, they were like, yeah, that's your ACL and that does not look good. So that's one really big bad factor that is going to hurt us. He was supposed to be going to Pasadena, but now he's got to rehab the knee and possibly get surgery. The second one is, look, this class coming up is absolutely going to be insane. Insane. We got in the 27 class, we have Trent Seaborn coming on. We're supposed to get a kid from Indiana named Monshun Sales. And I had a guy tell me on TikTok last night on the show I did that he's supposed to be equivalency to a Julio Jones, if not better than Ryan Williams. Now, I don't know if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, but we all need Ryan to come back in the next game. So we'll see what happens. That's number 2. Number 3 is, look, there's these two where we have a bad problem with running the ball. I think we noticed that against Oklahoma. Right now, you have to keep running Daniel Hill. I don't know what it's a shame that we don't have a run game. We lost Justice Haynes to Michigan, but it's getting really chippy in Michigan right now. I mean, really bad. So it wouldn't surprise me if Justice Haynes left. Now, I will go ahead and say this. This class coming up, you've got 2 running backs coming in. Not Sedarian Morgan, he's a receiver. E.J. Crowell, which is Isaiah Crowell's son, the guy from the NFL, if you remember him. He wasn't a huge splash in the league, but he wasn't terrible. And then you've got this guy named Brown. I want to say he's either from Montgomery or he's from the Birmingham area. I think Birmingham. That kid's supposed to be really solid. So you're supposed to be bringing in 2 good running backs. And then the last thing is, look, Nick Sheridan leaving the program alongside Coach Shep and Lundquist. It sucks. You know, these guys are leaving because they're doing really well with the program and they're creating opportunities for themselves. I kind of think at this point, now it's going to be interesting to see what does it look like Grubb and DeBoer together. No more co-offensive coordinator. I think it's a bad look when you have 2 guys trying to call the offense because you get guys that bump heads with each other that don't really know what's going on. But I'm not saying that was a bad look. It's just Coach DeBoer is doing it his way, and you have to be okay with it. And as far as what was the last point I had to wrap it up? As far as this team now, look, I think we're in great shape against Indiana. I know a lot of people have us favored to lose, but look, this has to be a legacy game for Ty Simpson. It has to be a legacy game for Daniel Hill. You got to keep running out Latier Brooks. You got to keep doing Isaiah Horton and Jeremy Bernard. But my biggest concern is the defense. You know, as much as we're stacked on offense, we have to bring in some defensive minds. You know, you have to get some defenders that want to be there. This is the one time I'll say that Yanze Pierre, to me, is the only real pass rusher you really have to get to a quarterback. I know you've seen Bray Hubbard a little bit. I thought he stepped back against Oklahoma. And against Indiana, I said this yesterday, you're playing against the best team in the Big Ten that they didn't just run a 60-minute special on for no reason. You know, that's what I've said to a lot of folks is you look at it with a program that used to be bottom of the barrel to now they're on the rise, and Kirk Cignetti gets tons of credit for the success he's built over there. You create these moments for yourself because you're tired of losing. Indiana was tired of the same tap dance. You know, it's like going to dance with Fred Astaire and you're the one dancing and the other person you're dancing with is like 2 steps behind the beat. It's like, come on, what are you doing? So Indiana's marked and proved they're going to be ready to go. But the Tide has to want it worse than Indiana does. And the Tide, our backs are against a complete wall in this game because nobody thinks we should be in with a 3-loss record. Nobody thinks we should be in this moment, but we won the first round to create those opportunities for ourselves. And the committee saw that. Now you can try to tell the committee that Bama doesn't deserve to be in. Bama just won the first round. What are they going to say? So I think it's a marked improvement for the program. You know, I think it's a good look for DeBoer. DeBoer's doing this thing. And I've said to multiple different people, if you think that DeBoer's a bad look, this is exactly where Saban was when he first got to Alabama. He was in the exact same position. So it's going to be very interesting to see. I'm excited for this Rose Bowl for sure. I'm really excited for it. But that's what we have coming in. Another cool story is I got to meet Marshall Pritchard from our program. And that is one of my favorite players. I just bought his jersey. Have to support my guy Pritchard. He's a solid guy, but we've just got to keep stepping on the gas. The second you tap that brake, you're going to be sorry. So that's all I really had.
Oh man, for sure. Just kind of like going over, it's gonna be fun seeing what can happen.
Here, I'll be right back to get my water.
All right, man. Oh man.
All right. I'm back with everybody.
There it is. There you go. Oh man. Well, I am crossing my fingers for the run game to get better. And maybe we can step it up on Thursday afternoon. And we can have more of Ty Simpson, bringing back that first half Ty Simpson. That could really help. And we just got to make sure Ryan Williams has a really good game.
Simpson's got to use his feet just a little bit more. He used them enough in the Oklahoma game. He got a couple of big first downs, and he's pretty quick. He's kind of, his speed is kind of elusive. I guess I don't know, or just kind of like Devontae Smith used to be. Didn't like he was that fast, but he is. But he needs to use his legs just a little bit more and make a few plays with his legs, and then the defense has to worry about him, the running game, and the passing game. So, sometimes it's hard to cover all three at one time.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Daniel Hill needs to. That kid's strong, man. You look at his hips and his legs. That kid, he's a powerhouse. I mean, he's 246 pounds as a running back. He's like Derrick Henry. I mean, he's a linebacker. That's what he is.
Oh, they've already told Daniel Hill. They said, "Look, you keep running like this. You're going to stay. We'll bump you." And I don't know how true this rumor is, but there's some boosters that have already made some splashes saying if D Hill keeps running like this, they'll chip into the NIL. They're invested in the Daniel Hill show. And that's the thing that I was saying is someone on this roster has to be a good running back. You can't convince me that there's Richard Young, Daniel Hill, Dre Washington from Louisiana. He was a senior. Who else? Jam Miller. You can't convince me that one of these guys can't run the football. There's got to be somebody that can run this ball, and they've got to figure it out. And I think they figured it out with Daniel Hill. And I've said it multiple times. If you don't figure out a run game, you're to blame. And someone said, well, DeBoer's never ran the ball, and he never did that in the Pac-12. I said, yes, he did. He had a running back put up 1,000 yards at Washington. He did, but the problem with the Pac-12 is nobody implemented an ounce of defense. So that's why there was high-scoring games. Now you're starting to realize that this is the SEC. You're not going to put up huge stats unless you're just that talented in the SEC when you're playing top defense. That's the one thing that I feel like, and people are going to get on to me for that, but it's not a knack on Indiana. It's Indiana. The only thing I feel like is going to be against them is the fact that I don't feel like they've played a true defense this year. I mean, Ohio State had the best defense they probably faced all year, but people said Penn State. Look what happened. I've said it from the jump. Firing Franklin was the worst decision you could have ever made, but it's one of the biggest things. It's a weird look. It's just, you sit back and look at these moments for these guys and you go, what are we doing? And so someone said to me, in fact, it's my guy, Mike, he said, how do you think the team's going to fare with a run game that's non-existent? And it's like, well, you just got to get these guys to believe. But Godfather, you hit the nail on the head. Ty Simpson has to use his legs in this next game. He has to. If you can find a lane for yourself, do it. I mean, that's what Milroe did last year, whether you like the guy or not. Milroe's not a great quarterback. He's a great athlete.
Surprise!
Story. Oh, my gosh, there he is. Let's go.
Hey, Alabama Richie. Hey,
What's
Godfather.
up,
How's it
brother? How
going?
you doing, my guy? I'm so glad to be here with everybody. I'm back from
Yep, he's
Wonderland.
back. Let's go. It's a swinging party, man.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see you, Jeffrey.
I'm definitely glad to be on the show again. Definitely glad to be talking about Alabama football still this year. They got a big game, right? They got a big game coming up, and everybody's excited about it with good reason. I understand. I know why, especially with me and everything. You know, dual loyalties. It's not a dual loyalty. Okay, I love Alabama first and foremost. Indiana's one of the best stories I've ever seen in my life. It is an amazing story, and you can't hate it. I can't. I mean, I know some people hate it, and that's fair, but you know, it's gonna be a great game. I'm excited about it. Alabama, we've not played our best football, you know, at vast majority of the year, but when we're at our best, we're still a dangerous team. But it's gonna be so exciting. I don't know how much you guys have talked about the game tonight, but I also, you know, I know people talking about Michigan as well, because Michigan they just can't not be in the limelight for some reason. they just have to be in the news in football for whatever reason. But so I'm sure it's been crazy talking about that.
Oh,
There's
man.
rumors that that girl got together with Connor Stallions too. People keep hitting me up telling me, "Do you think that's true?" And I was like, "Man, she probably was tap dancing with the whole staff." I bet Harbaugh had a little conversation with her. I bet he whispered in her ear. He was like, "Hey, shh." So
Oh, we got a new person in the chat. Scott M5Z. Oklahoma was the best defense Alabama played twice in 1 year. Y'all did a great job in Norman. Congrats. Thanks, Scott M5Z. Are you a Bama fan, Scott? I'm curious about that. And if you are, let us know. And if not, who's your team that you pull for?
Well, he says y'all did a great job, so I'm assuming that's a no. Usually, when you're a fan of a team, you'll say we. You know, that's just kind of what I gather, right? You know, you say we or yeah. I mean, it cracks me up when people do say that though, because it's like you didn't contribute anything to the win. You know, unless the only thing you say is if you were at the game, like maybe you're cheering on is what spurred them to victory. But other than that, like, you know, if you're just on your TV, you know, on your TV, on your couch watching your TV, no, you literally have absolutely no like difference
Only
whether
when
the
they
team
are
wins or
playing
not.
Indiana.
So
Okay.
it just cracks me up when people say that, right? Like, you know, we won. Well, your team won, but you didn't do anything. You didn't contribute a thing. You know, it's like people are saying, "Oh, Taylor Swift is why the Chiefs were winning." Well, is Taylor Swift the reason they're losing now? Well, I mean, you know, I think it's the people on the field. I think it's the coaches. I don't
Okay,
think it has anything to
Scott.
do with a fan. You know?
Okay, Scott's an Oklahoma fan. Oh man, how long have you been an Oklahoma fan, Scott? We're curious. Like, oh man, that's gonna be fun. You know what? The call-in link is in the chat. Like, you're more than welcome to come on in if you want. Come join this party. Oh man. Oh man. And
Any
you
sign
know,
from Caden tonight?
huh?
Any sign from Caden tonight?
No.
Shocking. So
he's been
shocking.
hitting me up on X. He's like,
That's what he
"What?"
does.
He's like,
He's
"What
on
are
my
you and
Jazz
Jeff?"
Study Discord. Oh man, it's so funny. It's like I don't know how it happened, but it's like it happened. He's posting the Grinch meme on there.
Was he shaking in his shoes after Indiana beat him off that or in that Big Ten game?
Nah, he was just yelling about something else, I'm
The
sure.
thing that's so crazy is that I literally, you know, when Indiana won, I was unfortunately sick at the time that Indiana won, so I wasn't live or nothing. But when I finally was able to stream again, I was respectful. I didn't trash the guy. If it had been the other way around, and it's like, dude, no one cares. Like you're not an Ohio State player. you're an Ohio State fan. You contribute nothing to the team. Just because Ohio State wins does not make you a better football fan or a smarter football fan. There are people that I know that are fans of garbage teams that know way more than that about football. Like, I'm sorry, Caden. Like, again, you know, I'm respectful to you, and I do appreciate your support on here. But dude, we all know that he says a bunch of ridiculous junk that makes zero sense at all whatsoever. And the biggest of them is that he feels like he knows more about college football just because his team wins, and that is something I can't stand. Just because you are a fan of a good team does not mean that you know more than somebody else is a fan of a bad team. Like, I don't even feel that should be even stated. That should just be common sense. I mean, come on.
Right.
Yeah, he's just having fun. Is what he's doing.
Oh, I appreciate the laughter and stuff that he brings. I know a lot of it is it is that he's having fun, but sometimes he does go just ridiculously too far. Like his insults toward people. It's like, man, dude, like, you're not gonna make a lot of friends that way.
No, sir.
You're not gonna make a lot of friends when you're calling Mark Rogers a moron, the voice of college football, and you're calling other very, very intelligent and smart human beings in the sports industry morons because they don't agree with
Mark
you.
An Ohio State fan?
Yes, but
why
because
would you call your own why would you call your own guy? Like, here's the thing.
Mark Rogers is smart. He is smart.
Mark's a great guy. Like, if you disrespect Mark Rogers, I got a problem with you. Like, that dude is one of the greatest people I've ever met, and yet you're gonna clown him. It's like, brother, I'm sorry, but I have to say this. Ohio State fans, man, they clown their own fan base for no reason. That's a shame.
He was talking to Hummus Hero the other night, right? And he was like, Hummus, I disagree with you because you're not saying that we're going to guaranteed win the national title. And I'm like, Hummus is being realistic. He's pointing out a few flaws that his team has. And he's saying that if we don't fix these flaws, then we could have some problems. It's not like he's saying, oh my gosh, we're going to get Mack trucked by Miami. No, Hummus Hero is just being realistic. I think people love realistic fans. I think people like when you can break down your team, point out your flaws, point out the positives and the negatives, versus someone that's just like, oh, we're better than everybody. It's like me and Jackson try to do that. Instead of just saying, oh, well, Bama's better than all these teams, we're like, well, hey, our run game sucks. Our run defense sucks, but we still have a good passing game. Exactly. We still have a good defense overall. You point out the positives, you point out the negatives. Ohio State's a fantastic team, but it's not like they're perfect. They still have some flaws, and some Ohio State fans that are realistic point those things out. But if you do that, you're automatically wrong in Cade's eye. You're wrong. Even again, I think a lot of it he does for laughs, but at the same time, it comes off just so wrong, man.
Oh yeah.
Like, you cannot call people morons who know what they're talking about. Reserve that for morons.
Oh yeah. Well, Richie, what's your final score prediction for Alabama, Indiana?
Oh, I've heard 31-34. I've heard 21-24. I've heard 15-20. I think realistically, and like right now they have Bama favored to lose by 8. Last I saw the spread, Indiana was favored by 8, but it may have changed from the last time I saw it. But I have a really hard time doing predictions because last time I did a prediction, it didn't end well. So we'll see. But I'm hoping it's a good game for sure. For sure. It's really nice that Signetti gets to play against this former team that put him on the map, because it's just, to me, one of those things that I said a little while ago. They didn't just film a 60-minute special on Indiana for no reason. I mean, they're talented. Fernando won the Heisman Trophy. They've got a good offense. It's a fast-paced offense. It's just, I think they're going to be in for a shock playing against an SEC defense. Now, I'm not saying we have an all-world defense because we don't, but I think this is going to be a big-time game for Kane Womack and for what he's done most of the season. I personally think, I don't know how you guys feel, but I think Kane should be in the booth. But I think, because Saban always gave the coaches an opportunity to decide. Someone asked it on Hey Coach one time. do you like it when your coordinators are on the sideline or in the booth? And he said he gives them any opportunity to sit down when they have the coaches meeting and decide, do you want to be on the sideline or the booth? So I personally think Kane should be in the booth. However, you know, I still respect Kane, and I think he's a great DC. But again, we'll just have to wait and see. But, you know, I think Indiana's going to be in for it with this defense. And then real quick, Godfather, to your comment on Will Muschamp getting the DC role at Texas, that's what I was going to comment on. I think it's a great fit. I think they made a mistake, like Jackson, you said, firing the guy before. But I have a lot of respect for Will Muschamp. I think, to me, he's a better DC than he is a head coach. But that doesn't mean he's going to pan out. But, I mean, that's just what I see in Will Muschamp. But that was the only other thing I really had. But I don't know what you guys feel about all that.
Well, I mean, I do have a point on the you know, you mentioned Cignetti being
Sure.
You know, playing against, you know, coaching against rather his former team. It's the other way around too. I mean, you've got the DeBoer angle, and basically half of the Alabama staff was at Indiana, and that's where they got their big break per se. Granted, I know DeBoer was a big time, you know, D2 coach or whatever, and won all those titles or whatever at Sioux Falls. But the thing is that if he hadn't got the OC job at Indiana, that was his break into the FBS. And then he got the Fresno job, then the Washington job, now the Bama jobs. And like I said, a lot of the staff followed him. I mean, you got Sheridan, you've got Womack, you've got, I think the safeties coach was at Indiana. I think the strength coach was at Indiana. It's really interesting because the storyline about Cignetti to me is almost less of a big deal than the fact that almost 35% of the Alabama staff was at Indiana. That's a bigger deal, and nobody's really talking about it because it doesn't fit the narrative. Cignetti fits the narrative because he's done what he's done at a program that's not supposed to win. And I still think that the result of this game is going to be a shame if Alabama wins, and then the takeaway is that, well, Indiana still ain't good. And if that's the argument, I still just cannot believe that there are people out there that believe that. I mean, it's like you take someone like Paul Feinbaum, because he's an SEC guy, and there was a lot of SEC accounts on Twitter that are just saying a bunch of stuff like, well, Indiana hasn't played a big-time team. They beat two teams in the top 5. They beat Oregon at Oregon, and they beat Ohio State. And then people are like, well, Ohio State didn't show up. Okay, I don't care. If Alabama wins the game, that does not mean that Indiana is bad. That means Alabama be a very good football team. That should be the takeaway. Because again, if this was Georgia or Ohio State or even like Texas or Oregon or even maybe a Penn State or something like that, and Alabama wins this game as an underdog, it wouldn't be, well, the favored team is bad. It's just Alabama played a heck of a game and they won. In this instance, there's still going to be people out there that will try to tell you that Indiana is bad. And I'm just like, come on, dude. Indiana's only bad in your mind because you're looking at the historic stuff. Historically, they are trash. Historically, they are bad. This year's team is ranked number 1 in FBI. They have the 2nd ranked defense. They have the 5th ranked offense. This is a great football team. You have to judge these teams year over year. Texas Tech historically ain't that good, but they got themselves a great football team this year, and we'll see what they do against Oregon. This year's Indiana would be an amazing win for Alabama. An amazing win. And that's not to take away from what Indiana has done. You know what I'm saying? Like Oregon got a little bit of that last year when they got blown out against Ohio State in the playoff. But Oregon didn't get it that bad. A lot of people are still like, well, Oregon had a great year, because at least Oregon's had the reputation of being pretty good with Phil Knight and everything for the last 25, 30 years. But when it comes to Indiana, I don't want that to be the takeaway. I really don't. That the takeaway should be that Alabama beat a very good football team. And it should be the other way. If Indiana beats Alabama, it's like, well, Alabama sucked this year. Indiana didn't beat a good team. It's Alabama. We're still loaded with talent. The point is this is a really good game. This is the best game in my opinion of the 4 quarterfinal games. I think you could argue Oregon, Texas Tech because it's like a 50-50, but I think Alabama, Indiana is the best game. It's got the best storylines. And whoever wins, the loser's a great team, and the winner is a great team. that's all I have to say on that.
The way I look at it, the winner of the Rose Bowl, I feel like, is going to the national title, or basically could win it all. Honestly, I do not see Oregon as a national title team, and I don't see Texas Tech as a natty team. I don't see it.
The only reason that some Indiana fans on Twitter are clamoring for respect is because of the fact people like Paul Feinbaum and others don't respect them still. That's the only reason. It's
You
just
don't need Paul Feinbaum
you're
to
reading
like
the Twitter stuff. That's most Indiana fans that I've talked to are just excited to be here. That's
Absolutely.
it. It's just the few people on Twitter that are responding to the few people on Twitter that say that you suck still and you don't and then they're responding with where's our respect and it's like not every Ohio State fan is crap, but some of the Ohio State fans on Twitter suck. Like legitimately bad. They are terrible. And we have some of our own fans, Alabama fans on Twitter that are horrible. You're just reading the garbage that is getting spewed on the internet. Like most Indiana fans, they're just blown away that this is a thing.
Yeah, don't worry about what some people say and what some people don't say. Don't worry so much about it. Oh, we forgot to ask Godfather, how you feeling about the Alabama Indiana game? What's your score prediction for that one?
I've been thinking I think it may be kind of about the same score we had with Oklahoma, maybe 34-24. I don't know, maybe 28, 34, 28. I think it's kind of going to be somewhere around in there, probably, maybe, you know.
All right.
You know what Texas Tech reminds me of is Arizona from Arizona State from last year, like a Cinderella kind of story where you did really well and no one talked about you, and now you're on the rise. And now Arizona State loses Scatterboo to the NFL with the Giants, and now you're starting to really see like a difference. Like I don't know if Texas Tech's going to be in the same position next year, but if they are, to me, it looks like they're doing really good things over there. Because I told somebody, I said, look, it's nice to know it's not about just Texas or Texas A&M anymore, or North Texas or Texas State, where they're doing their thing. It's now Texas Tech, and they're now being able to use this number, like you always say, Jeffrey. They've got this number, so they're able to shell out the money to be able to get these guys to believe that there's more than just Texas or Texas A&M over there, who were the standard before Texas Tech. Now, of course, you've seen in the past, you've had Baker Mayfield for a little bit, you had Mahomes that did their thing, but realistically, they weren't as good as now. So that Rodriguez guy is really good, but again, I think they're a Cinderella story. But I have a lot of respect for Texas Tech, though. But that's just how I see it. I'm just really curious to see, can they keep it up in the next few seasons and keep it going.
I think there's a better chance they do than Arizona State because of the fact that, I mean, Texas Tech, you look at their roster, and I mean, they've got like 5 or 6 just legitimate NFL studs that they paid for. They paid for. I mean, they spent like $30 million in NIL, and that is not a reported figure. That is a factual statistical figure that has been publicly announced. I mean, you look at Texas Tech's other sports, volleyball, softball, they've been pumping cash into every sport. Sports that a lot of people on here don't give a rat's about. They have money. And Arizona State does not. I know, Steve. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, right? So Arizona State, like Kenny Dillingham's like, please bring more money in. Please bring more money in, right? And then Michigan fans say, you're a moron for not coming to Michigan. You could have got more money in. It's like, okay, whatever. But he's begging for more money. Texas Tech's just got it. And as long as the current NIL rules and everything that is currently going on right now, which is utter chaos, continues, I think Texas Tech will remain relevant for the next several years, unless the only way they'll fail is if they do what Florida State did and every single player that they buy out of the portal stinks. Because that's what Florida State did. Florida State went from good to crap because they did the exact same thing every year, and it failed because they weren't getting Jordan Travis's anymore, and they weren't getting Jared Verse's anymore. They just There he
Or
is.
Keon Coleman's anyone.
There he is.
Yeah, Keon Coleman, all
we
those dudes.
we
Like,
got a $2 super chat from Cade the Diesel Freak, and he said, "Quote: Jeffrey Jackson cut the bullshit. OMFG."
you knew he couldn't stay away. You knew he couldn't
Nope.
stay away.
We appreciate the $10 super chat, Caden.
Keep
We
the money
appreciate it very
coming,
much.
Caden.
Oh man. Oh man. Well, we're gonna bring Darrell on in a little bit. I will say though, Godfather's awesome as always seeing you, man, and I'll definitely be seeing you soon, good buddy. And like, you know, it's always a party when all of us are here together, man, for sure.
Always a party, always fun when we have it on Thursday night, no matter what night. It's always fun, a lot of new information, talking, having fun, and Caden's in the building, so I'm gonna turn him over to y'all. I'm just gonna sit back and laugh. I love all y'all. Y'all be safe, enjoy your weekend, and we'll catch you back next week sometime. We'll discuss this game a little further. Go getting close to kickoff.
Oh, there
Thank
we
you,
go, man.
Godfather. Cue the
Absolutely,
harmonica.
brother.
There we go. See you soon, Godfather.
See you, brother.
And we'll see you later, Richie. It's awesome as always hanging with you. Glad to see you, man.
Absolutely. If I would have known the show was tonight, I would have worn my voice the college football hat. But I'm thankful you sent me the message because I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, I've missed a few programs and I've got to get back with you guys. But I'm happy to be here with everyone for sure.
Oh, we're
Kate,
glad to see you, man.
the floor is yours, brother. Oh, I've been thinking about you guys for sure. For sure. I took a little bit of a break because I've been feeling kind of down on myself, not liking who I am. But now that I'm back, man, I feel great. I'm happy. I'm confident again, and we're gonna be rolling like a tire for sure. For sure. I still think about you guys. Someone asked me today. They were like, someone actually found me, and they're like, "Hey, I've listened to you on that college football deal you do with those two guys." He was like, "What are their?" So I help you guys out. If you guys talk to Mark, tell him I help promote you guys for sure. So, am I still a member? I wanted to ask real quick. Am I still a YouTube member?
Apparently not for some reason. It must have like logged out. Let me check.
If it logged out, let me know. I'm gonna redo it tonight.
All right. No. Fortunately, you're still a YouTube member.
Oh, thank goodness, because I was freaking out 2 nights ago. I said, I wonder if I'm still a Voice of College Football YouTube member. I still remember when I tried because I called into Minnie and Doreen's show, and someone said you got to be a member. So I was trying to be a member of the Voice of College Football, and I remember screwing up and becoming a Ohio State member. And all these Ohio State guys were going, "Richie, are you lying to people? Are you really a Bama fan?" I was like, "Yes, I've been a Tide fan my whole life. I went to school there for a semester for a friend of mine." I said, "You can't tell me that I'm not a Tide fan, man. It's as good as it gets, baby." It's the Crimson Tide, and we're going to win this Rose Bowl, and we're going to show. I mean, look, I just hope it's a good game. I'm just having fun. Just nice to be back with you guys. But I'm going to run. You guys have a wonderful night. Thanks for having me, as always. It's a pleasure.
You too, man. It is great to see you, good buddy.
Yes, sir. See you guys. Catch y'all later.
Appreciate it, Richie. You have a great
night. Yes,
night.
sir. See you, brother.
See you, Richie. And we've got Darrell MVP next on the line. What is up, good buddy? How you doing tonight?
Hello, gentlemen. I heard some Ohio State slander, and I just can't accept this. Ohio State's going 20-0 this year. Fact check me. I know they don't play 20 games, don't matter. They're going to win the World Series. They have the 25 best players in the sport.
They could beat the Cleveland Browns.
No, they would beat the Kansas City Chiefs in 2019, 2020, 21, the whole dynasty. They would beat the 07 Patriots. The Big Ten's clearly the most difficult conference ever created in the history of football because they beat Central Michigan and New Mexico today. I mean, your average SEC team can't walk into a neutral site game against New Mexico and go to overtime and get a struggle win. Nobody except the Big Ten can do that stuff. So Ohio State has clearly played this juggernaut schedule where they just play a bunch of elite teams like Illinois and Purdue and Northwestern.
God.
And UCLA, just these elite juggernaut
teams. They beat Penn State.
And Penn State. Penn State's just that elite team that they were supposed to go all the way, and they have the best quarterback they've ever had in their history's program. And they
realize, Caden, nobody's responding to you.
I know.
I don't. I don't think
That's what
like
makes it funnier.
I don't think real Hellraisers spend their time on Discord, but that's just me now.
Yeah, you've seen the Discord mod memes.
Yeah,
I like Discord, man, but
I love
I don't
Discord.
spend a lot of time on there, man. It's just a big pile of crap.
I use it for business, really.
Yeah,
So I wanted to ask you, gentlemen, with how poor the Big Ten's doing overall and being a dog conference, just maybe even the third best conference, I think it's pretty likely, or I won't say likely. I'll say there's a stronger possibility than most people are giving that only one of their teams makes it out of this round, and that's Ohio State, because Ohio State's playing Miami. And Miami's a good team. They're not a great team like Ohio State. So if Texas Tech and Indiana lose, or Texas Tech and Alabama wins this week, does that solidify the Big Ten, in your all's opinion, as the third best conference this year? Because a lot of people are just assuming Oregon, Indiana, and Ohio State, just check them off. They're obviously going to win their games. Not even a challenge. We're all just waiting for the Final Four of Oregon, Indiana, Georgia, and Ohio State. But I think people are counting their eggs before they hatch.
I mean, I think Ohio State clearly has a big advantage over Miami. That's not to say Miami can't win, but Ohio State should win. The other two is they're more 50-50. I think Texas Tech, Oregon could go either way. I did pick Oregon when me and Will did our predictions. But it wasn't by much. And I could see that game going either way. I think Alabama, Indiana is a pretty close to a coin flip as well. I mean, I think Indiana is favored by 7 or 6.5 because of the fact that they've been the more consistently good team. But Alabama clearly has way more talent, but they haven't consistently played well enough to really trust them. But if they can kick it into that gear that we know Alabama can reach, they can knock off Indiana. So, I mean, there is a good chance that only one of the three Big Ten teams make it to the Final Four of the playoffs. So, yeah.
And I think Indiana, because of their Cinderella story, and they are a great team. People are over. If this was Ohio State, people would be scrutinizing that Penn State and Iowa game, saying, "Man, they barely beat Iowa. They barely beat Penn State. What's wrong with them? They're supposed to dominate these teams." But since it's Indiana, it's like, oh, good, they win. So I'm not sure if Alabama plays their worst and Indiana plays their worst. Alabama still has no chance to win. Where I think most people believe if Alabama plays their absolute worst game possible, which is either the Georgia game or the first Oklahoma game, that they would have no chance. To me, this is a much more even matchup than people are talking about.
Yeah. I think, honestly, between Alabama and Indiana, I feel like the winner of this game is basically the winner of the national title, honestly. I really, because I don't.
You think that the winner of Alabama, Indiana wins it all?
I don't see Oregon or Texas Tech getting by. I feel like the winner of the Rose Bowl between Alabama and Indiana can win it all. Yes.
I mean, I think that they can too, but I don't think it's the most probable scenario.
Yeah, because it's like I'm not saying
that Georgia and Ohio State are still the best teams in college football. I think that Indiana, Alabama, I think the winner of the game has a great chance to go to the national title. I do think that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can make a case because, Indiana already beat Oregon, that if Indiana beat Alabama, if they faced Oregon, they would lose in a rematch. I don't know if that's a guarantee either, but I think there's a really good chance that Indiana and Alabama, whoever wins, could beat Texas Tech or Oregon. But beating Georgia or Ohio State, because that's most likely who is going to be in the championship game, is one of those.
Well, that's obvious.
Then that's a really tough game. It's not impossible. It's not. I mean, Alabama's already beat Georgia, but I think Georgia's better now than they were then. Okay. And like I said, the last time Ohio State made the playoffs, we saw what they did when they steamrolled everybody. I don't think they're going to steamroll everybody this time. I think that this is a good argument, though, for real. You know, if Georgia and Ohio State do beat each other up and Indiana and Alabama, whoever wins, stays relatively injury-free, you know, you can make a case they could win. I just don't think it's the most likely scenario that Alabama or Indiana wins at all.
Right. To me, and this is going to be a bit of a hot take, and Stephen Cherry, I guess you want to call me SEC propagandist. I did point out how Minnesota, you know, just not your average SEC team, can go into a neutral site and beat New Mexico in overtime. You know, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, Missouri, they can't beat those group of 5 teams in overtime like New Mexico. Clearly, there's just this massive gap between the Big Ten and SEC. But my hot take is Georgia is significantly better resume-wise than Ohio State this year. The reason Ohio State, people perceive it is because their brand and their name. If you look at Ohio State's schedule and who they've beaten, it's a whole lot of nobody outside of that Texas game. And where you look at the Georgia side of things, Georgia's beaten, well, they destroyed Texas, unlike Ohio State. They beat Alabama. They beat Ole Miss. They're going to have 3 or 4 wins that are like way better than anything Ohio State's done this year. So to me, Georgia should be like decidedly favorites over Ohio State, like 5 to 6 point favorites. I just think they're that much better and that much more proven of a football team than Ohio State this year.
Oh man, like, yeah, I'm just kind of like that. Yeah, Katie, that's way too far, my guy.
He has no limits, man. He's got no boundaries.
And I'm sorry about this.
Forgive him, for he knows not what he does.
I'm sorry in advance for what I'm about to read, Darrell, but this is a $2 super chat from Caden the Diesel Freak where he says, bullshit from Darrell, get the F out. Man, what did Darrell do to you, man? Oh, that's all
I spoke facts about his team in Ohio State playing absolutely nobody on the schedule. Listen, I can't help it that the Big Ten this year, middle to bottom, is absolute crap.
I will say in defense of that, I'm not disagreeing with you, but there have been seasons where the national championship winner did have a really, really easy schedule.
No, I understand that, but
Michigan in 23 had the ridiculously easy non-conference schedule. That was a joke.
But they beat Ohio State.
The Big Ten schedule wasn't that good either.
Okay.
And then also,
Jeffrey, I want to push back on this. Hold on.
As well, we're in the ACC. That was very easy.
For everybody,
again, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that there have been national champions.
I want to go back and find this team. 2018 Clemson is probably the most recent example of a team at this point in the season that has played a worse top elite team than Ohio State. Texas is by far their best game that they've played the entire season. No, it's not even really close. Michigan's 9-3 just because their schedule's crap. They beat nobody. They got blown out by USC. They got blown out by Oklahoma. They got blown out by Iowa State. The only reason they're even ranked is because of their record and who their brand is. And so to me, that's not even really that good of a win. That's like on the same tier as Tennessee and Illinois and Missouri. So to me, if you're talking about the elite, like that top 5, like Indiana beating Oregon, for example, Ohio State doesn't even have that. They've just got Texas and a bunch of nobodies. And I know it was week 1, and I know it was super early in the season, but I don't think their offense and defense has proved 14 to 17 points better throughout the entire course of the season. Where I think Georgia has improved pretty substantially. I mean, just look at 2 Alabama games. I'm telling people, I'm not going to predict a blowout for Georgia Ohio State, but if Indiana was Ohio State and Ohio State had Indiana's schedule, you reverse them, people would already be writing Ohio State as the national championship contender. Nobody else even has a chance, and Indiana would get absolutely pasted by Georgia. That's what people would be saying. Do you follow along with me, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. I mean, that's definitely not wrong. I just think the problem with Ohio State is that they're so full of talent that no matter how easy their schedule is and no matter what really their results are, as long as they win, they're going to be considered a team to win it all. It's just the way it is. I mean, they have so much talent that people are going to overlook the schedule and they're going to overlook all that kind of stuff.
That's some NPC level thinking there, Jeffrey. That's what that is. That is NPC thinking. Well, we've seen them be good in the past. Therefore, we can ignore every factor that has plagued them this year, and we can just check mark them in. And I just hate that way of thinking. I like looking at the results on the field. That's why I think this Alabama-Indiana game is going to be pretty close. I do think
it is the best game in the quarterfinal.
I've got Oregon, Texas Tech. It could be that. I have no idea what Texas Tech is. They could literally be the best team in college football, or they could absolutely lose by 21 points this round. It wouldn't surprise me because they haven't played an elite team like Ohio State this year. But I think the difference in this Indiana-Alabama game, Alabama makes mistakes down the stretch. They're going to turn – I've got a feeling they're going to turn the ball over. There's going to be a fumble, an interception, a bad coaching decision by Kalen DeBoer, maybe a questionable play call or something, whereas Indiana, I know, won't do that in this game. Or I'll be very surprised if they don't do this. They're going to be a well-oiled machine. They're going to have very few penalties. They're going to make the right decisions. They're going to be buttoned up on everything. They're going to have great X's and O's, and I just can't be confident about that in Alabama. So with that being said, I'm going Indiana to win this game 24-21.
Okay. Well, one thing's for sure, it's going to be a close game regardless of who wins. This is not going to be a two-possession whipping. It's basically going to be a tight one. I mean, it's tighter than the experts have it. And
I think it's a shame that Indiana got the toughest opponent in my mind for a quarterfinal game. You could disagree with that drill, but I think Indiana got the worst draw, being the number one seed. And it happens most years where the number one seed gets the worst draw. I mean,
that's just because
it's a joke that can happen. You're supposed to have, I know, Steven, here we go. You're supposed to have an easier game as the number one seed. That's how college basketball works. You get the easiest game to start out because you got all the advantage, right? I don't know. I think it's really dumb that Indiana, being the number one seed, gets a tougher game than Ohio State does. I mean, in my opinion.
Right.
I think Alabama's pretty tougher than Miami.
Oh, it's over the course of the season, Alabama's been proven to be better than Miami. And it's I don't like saying this, but it's not even really that close.
Alabama should not have been Indiana's opponent.
Right. Alabama at the best has proven they can win the national championship. Miami at their best hasn't proven that yet.
And just for reference, could people be like, well, Jeffrey, Alabama is number 9. And if Ohio State they could have faced A&M, and they're number 7, so that would have been A&M still worse than Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. We have a problem in the sport about seeding and brackets and just in general.
Texas A&M would have missed the playoffs if they had lost to Notre Dame. And they lost to Notre Dame because Tyler Buckner did not hold the ball.
Yeah, I still think Jeffrey
blew that game in week 3. Literally, A&M was not a top 12 team.
To me, I know it's crazy. I still think Texas A&M at 11-1 should have missed the playoffs because of how weak their schedule was.
They weren't good at all. I mean, their schedule arguably was worse than Indiana's in 24.
Right. I had people like Stephen Cherry and some other Big Ten homers talking about, man, a 10-2 ACC team win and beat an 11-1 Texas A&M team. And I was like, this was obvious from a mile away that Texas A&M was going to lose. They played nobody. They were down 30 against South Carolina. They got absolutely dogged by the only good team that they played in Texas.
I was hoping they would lose to South Carolina.
Yeah.
And it really sucks, for Will, that the reason that they missed the playoffs, and I know you'll argue Notre Dame's trash probably as well, maybe not, but the Notre Dame missed the playoffs because their backup quarterback, whatever, lacrosse player, former Bama quarterback, Alabama quarterback, all that kind of stuff. They lost because he didn't hold the ball, and then they lost because Texas A&M literally came back and beat South Carolina, which I understand people about. Well, Notre Dame still lost to him, so the head-to-head, A&M should not have made the college football playoffs if they had lost to South Carolina.
Oh yeah.
If they had gotten in over Notre Dame should have got in. Notre Dame was a better team, in my opinion, than both A&M and Miami. And I understand head-to-head. I get it. I just think Notre Dame is better than those teams. And they proved the rest of the way that they were better than those teams.
I think, honestly, we need to go with Matt Zimick's suggestion for, like, just kind of have, like, bubble watch games.
Notre Dame had a better resume overall, like, metrically, than Miami. Everybody keeps talking about these freaking metrics. Notre Dame had a better strength of schedule. Notre Dame had a better strength of record. Notre Dame had better everything than Miami.
Yeah, but they lost the game.
I understand that in week 1.
Yeah,
Miami, I'm not saying that Miami shouldn't have got in, I guess, but A&M didn't deserve to get in either.
Well,
Notre Dame was a better football team than that.
To me, what I would have done is I would have had A&M, Notre Dame both out. I would have had my Alabama at 9, or I would have Miami at 9, Alabama at 10, and then I would have had Texas at 11 as the last at-large team in. And then I would have literally had a results chain from like 8 to 14.
Anyway, so we want to say thank you to the $2 super chat from the Diesel Freak, and we've got a $2.99 super sticker from our good buddy Godfather, the SEC. And what do we have here? Oh, there we go. It's a bird giving a thumbs up. Let's go. We appreciate it very much, Godfather.
He says Notre Dame enters the conversation again. I mean, again, like both Miami and A&M were just so impressive. I still think Indiana got screwed. You know, I think Indiana got screwed being the number 1 seed that they faced Alabama. While these other teams got infinitely easier games. I think Ole Miss would have been easier. I think that A&M would have been easier. Miami would have been easier. Notre Dame would have been easier. But Indiana gets Alabama. Alabama is the first team in college football history to lose by 21 in a football game and not drop a spot in the rankings. They didn't drop a single spot in the rankings for losing by 21.
Oh man, what was that thing? Oh,
I understand why they let them in, and I'm glad we got in, and we proved it on the field against Oklahoma. But my problem is that the rankings are skewed. I've seen teams drop in the rankings, in the CFP rankings and in the AP rankings for winning. Whereas Alabama didn't even fall. They literally moved up a spot for beating Auburn by 7 and losing to Georgia by 21. We went from number 10 to number 9 because Notre Dame was number 9.
Right. Alabama should have been ahead of Notre Dame for weeks at that point now.
Notre Dame was 8 spots ahead of Miami 6 weeks
ago. It kind of feels like...
But Miami surpassed them because they moved Alabama ahead of Notre Dame, and then because Miami won their games down the stretch and they switched them. And then A&M gets in with literally the probably worst resume in CFP history for a big Power 2 team in the SEC Big Ten. That schedule was trash. They didn't do anything. They're the only reason they got in was because they were 11-1 and because they beat Notre Dame in week 3.
Right, Jeffrey, but you are what your record says you were. Didn't you see they only lost?
We all know that.
Right. They lost 1 game. I mean, that's obviously the most important metric.
That's why I never wanted the playoffs expanded to 12, Drew. We've talked about this before. Like I said last year, I was glad as an Indiana fan that they made the playoffs last year. But Indiana was not a playoff team last year. They were not good enough to win anything in the playoffs last year. And I said the problem is that they expanded the playoffs to 12 and are allowing teams that don't deserve to be in the playoffs. That's why we're getting these A&Ms and these Indianas. These teams are not good enough. Out of all the 12 teams in this playoff, around 5 of them had literally 0 chance to win it all. And that's your problem. You're arguing for teams that have 0 chance to win it all.
Yeah, but Jeffrey, won't you like it if we expand to 16 or 24 teams? Isn't that going to solve all the issues? Don't you want to see like Army in the playoffs or Iowa at 8-4 be in the playoffs? Why don't we give those teams a chance? They could win on.
It's such a joke. And we got John Diano coming here. Appreciate you coming in, John. He says, and you guys get to keep DeBoer. Everybody went, we all said DeBoer wasn't leaving. I can't. Well,
hold on. Jeffrey, we got to correct that. Michigan man was not saying that. Michigan man was saying, well, even though they beat Oklahoma, there's still a chance that, Caitlin DeBoer would choose the Michigan job because Michigan's such a better job than Alabama.
We all knew, everybody that I don't even know how to finish that sentence. People knew DeBoer was not going to go to Michigan. Okay, we knew this. All right, and the thing is that what I don't understand is why Kyle Whittingham, like, it cracks me. Dave Portnoy is going on, and I understand that all of his tweets are just
Portnoy's a
literally
dumbass.
just they're brain dead, just logic, and he does it for clicks and impressions and just to get people talking. And I know that. I don't think maybe he legitimately is. I don't think he's as low as his comments are online. I would hope not. I don't think he is. Because what he writes on there is just, again, pretty brain dead. But dude's writing on there. Literally, dude is writing on there. I'm gonna read the post because I reacted to it earlier tonight. This dude.
Oh, yeah, Bart was reacting
he
to
says,
it.
I've got to be honest. Never been prouder to be a Michigan man. The way we conducted this coaching search is just top-class stuff. So many schools, LSU, have no morals and will recruit active coaches. We could have stolen DeBoer, which he spelt wrong, or Dillingham, but it's not the right thing to do. It's not the Michigan man thing to do. At Michigan, we waited for a coach who is free and clear. It's still about the kids. It's still about doing things the right way. The Michigan way. Very proud. Now, what cracks me up about that, it's so convenient that Kyle Whittingham, who was a Utah man forever, literally has been at Utah for 30 years. He went up the ranks, DC, all those little positional coaches and all that kind of crap. Then he gets the Utah head coaching job in 2005 when Urban left, and he was the coach until this year. Dude leaves, and I'm like, great. Whittingham's retiring. He's one of, the better head coaches of all time. He's got a great legacy, all that kind of stuff. Oh, and then people are like, he's available. And then he goes to Michigan, and you're trying to tell me that, he was free. That's a little bit suspicious. You think maybe that there was contact with Michigan prior to him retiring? There's a chance.
So, honestly, it feels like... Has anybody ever watched the movie Any Given Sunday with Al Pacino, where it's like it looks like he's retiring from the team that he's coaching, but then at the end of the movie, what everybody thought was a retirement press conference, it's nope, I'm going to this team. I'm going to this team in New Mexico. That's what it kind of felt like. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool to see old Whittingham going to Ann Arbor. I don't like that Utah was like, we won't let you go after 2025 because we don't want Morgan Scaly to leave.
It's just, I don't know, man. I just think it's very suspicious. Like, I get this way with this kind of stuff, and I understand a lot of people. I don't know, man. That's just too convenient. And that a coach that was free. Yeah, he's free, retired. Yeah, he was retired for a grand total of 2 weeks.
Jeffrey, I've heard reports that he's going to coach in the Citrus Bowl against Texas. And he's going to be the Michigan head coach, and he's not going to. He's already confirmed not to coach the Las Vegas Bowl.
He's not coaching in the Las Vegas
Have you
Bowl.
even seen this, Darrell? Have you seen how there are college basketball players? There are college Baylor just added a dude that got drafted. I don't know if you saw this.
Louisville's got a player that has an NBA rookie card.
Yeah, but literally, Baylor added a guy. I think his name's James Najee, who was the 31st pick in the draft a couple years ago. Literally, is now at Baylor, and Illinois added a dude from like an Eastern European country or whatever, and now he's immediately eligible. What is happening right now? Literally, do you remember Joey Hauser? Not that long ago, Joey Hauser had to sit out a year when he went from Marquette to Michigan State. And now we've got guys coming from other countries to come play in college basketball that are able to be eligible now in the middle of the flipping season. And then we got guys who got drafted by the NBA when before, if you declared for the draft, you couldn't come back. Now you can get drafted and still come back to college if you're not on an NBA roster anymore.
Jeffrey,
what is happening?
Jeffrey, I just can't wait for the XFL or UFL players that have a year of eligibility left to come back to college football.
Jeffrey, Darrell, hold those thoughts for a moment because we got a $5 super chat from Mary J. Watson SSG saying, "Hi, I'm Mary Jane Watson, Caden's girlfriend. You fellas are cute, and I sent a screenshot to my girlfriends on the Slam van. I love you, Caden. Heart eyes emojis and lipstick kiss." We appreciate the $5 super chat from Mary J. Watson. We thank you very much. And we thank you all for the support that you are giving out. And we appreciate it. And well, you got a secret admirer, Jeffrey. That's for sure. Oh man. And we got Roll Tide for Life. Say please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Please share the video. We appreciate it very much. And Darrell also, I believe there's a comment where you had it earlier to let me see. Oh, doggone it. I'm gonna find it.
Well, while you look for that, Jeffrey, I wanted to ask you this Kyle Winningham thing. To me, it's either going to be a really good hire or this. It could be like this Bill Belichick type thing where he's kind of checked out. He kind of really doesn't believe in it. And he's kind of just there for getting his own paycheck. Do you think that's possible where this could be like a Bill Belichick type scenario?
Mommy Mikers. I have no idea what's that. The hell's a mommy Miker? I don't. Oh, okay. All
Okay,
right.
I'm back to real. I'm back. What was that?
So, do you think this Kyle Winningham thing could be like? I think worst case scenario, it could be like Bill Belichick, where he's kind of an elite head coach. Everybody's got this perceived aura about him, but then he goes to a different school. I don't think his heart's really could be in it. You know, he's kind of tapped out, and then after the grind for like 6 to 10 months, he's just kind of like, I don't even want to be here. I should have just retired. This is too much. You know, I think that is possibility as well.
Yeah,
You
there is
know-
a great chance that happens. I just
We're
don't
gonna-
understand why he left Utah. That guy, the Utah guy. Like, I thought when Whittingham left, again, I don't understand what's going on anymore. Like, college sports is, again, it is reality television at worst at this point. You know, like at best, I don't even know what you want to call this. Like, this is a freak show. It's completely deranged. Like, what is happening? I don't even know what is happening. College basketball is ruined. It's gone. Like, outside the tournament's still all right, but everything else is just screwed. I mean, you've got guys leaving teams in the middle of the season. You've got players being eligible from the draft and from other countries in the middle of the season. Then got like winning. What Whittingham just did makes no sense. And yet to everyone in this era, it makes sense. To me, it makes zero sense. Why leave the program that you were loyal to for 30 years? He's not young. He's like 66 to go to that high pressure cooker of a job where if you fail, your entire legacy's ruined now. Like, Belichick's legacy's just screwed. It doesn't even matter if he makes Carolina a 9-3 team in a couple years. It's screwed. He's going to forever be known as the guy that should have been working at Publix without Tom Brady. I mean, it is destroyed. Bill
Walsh didn't really have all that era in his second stint at Stanford, but I mean, I'm sure like people talked about how it didn't go as planned, but I think over time people kind of forgot about it. I'm wondering if same goes for Belch, although he's not doing himself any favors by having Bobby Petrino as his offensive coordinator.
Yeah, and the memes on that have just been absolutely insane.
But I think, honestly, that whole thing with Utah, which I think they kind of planned on going with Morgan Scaley after 2025, regardless how this season went. And I didn't think there's a scenario where Whittingham was returning after 2020.
I just don't understand it.
Well, let me try to make some sense.
At the same time, it's kind of like, if somebody's kind of let me know I'm not going to return next year and there's no way possible, then, why suck it up and put up with it? I mean, it's like, really? Because it's like, yeah, I mean, Utah was awesome with Kyle Whittingham, and you don't want to be losing a lot of the coaches. I get that, and I hope this Morgan Scaley situation works out for Utah, and I hope everything works out for Whittingham, which I have a feeling things will work out for Whittingham in Ann Arbor. I don't think it's going to be an absolute failure because, like, the man has won plenty of big games at Utah.
It just still doesn't make any sense, Jackson.
Jeffrey, let me help you out with that, okay? Let me try to make some sense. He's going to a Power 2 conference where the ceiling, he can win a national championship. Utah, his ceiling was 10-2, maybe 11-1 in a good year, with being in a Big 12 conference that was perceived weaker, where you can only get one bid. It's a one bid league, similar to college basketball, where you could go 10-2, and since you're Michigan, you could play nobody, and you're in the college football playoffs. He gets that experience. Maybe he gets lucky with the draw. He makes the Final Four of the national championship game, and he ends his career on a much higher note than he would have at Utah. I don't think he's going to stay at Michigan forever.
No, this is more like a 4-year
Right.
That's
but
the way
the
I
thing
look
is,
at it.
is that what I'm saying is that you go back about 15 years ago. You go about 15 years ago. A guy like Kyle Whittingham would have just retired at the school that he was at and called it a day. That is what I'm saying. This would have never happened. Where this guy who has been at Utah for 30 years is just like, all right, I'm going to Michigan now. That is what I'm saying. You didn't see that back then.
Right, but I think it's a product of the only thing that matters in college football is winning the national champion.
Destroying the sport.
I know.
It is awfully bad. And the fact that nobody gives a flip is scary to me.
I care.
It's ridiculous. Whittingham was fine.
I'm on the front.
Legacy, I thought he was a top 5 to 7 coach where he was at. But it's because everybody's like, you got to be at a big school. You got to do it. It's like Signetti. Signetti, you got to go to Penn State, man. You got to go to some big school. It's like he's doing just fine where he's at. All right? Like, Whittingham had an incredible legacy at Utah. He was fine at Utah, but it's this poison that we got where it's all about the natty. If you don't win a natty, it don't matter. And that's just sad. Whittingham did great things at Utah. He did great things. His legacy was incredible. So I guess after Kirk Ferentz, Captain Kirk, I guess it's over. Because once he's gone, it's over. You're not going to have these legacy dudes anymore.
I kind of feel like that ship is kind of sailing.
Oh, it's sailed. Just like the 4-year player. You're not going to have a guy stay at 4 years at the same school. A good player. Yeah. Like in college basketball, you don't see that anymore. The Marcus Pages, Joel Berries, Tyler Hansborough, Meeks Hicks, all those type of guys at Carolina, the Trace Jackson Davis, Yogi Ferrell players at Indiana. Alabama can't even keep a roster. I mean, like Rylan Griffin, we lost at Alabama basketball. We've lost so many players to the portal. Can't even remember half of them. We did keep Philon another year, but it's just you can't keep players, you can't keep the coaches. I don't know, man. It's just sad. I mean, I understand what Daryl's saying, and I agree. I'm not that delusional. I understand why he left in this mindset, but it's just a terrible mindset to have when you had it pretty darn good where you were at.
Just wait, Jeffrey, until we get to the 24-team playoff. And then it's going to be, to me, it's going to expand to 32. People thought it was crazy when people said 24 or 32. Now you got the Big Ten. They're going to push for 24. I'm not sure if you've seen the Army of 24 movement out there. The sport's going to go downhill pretty quickly, in my opinion, over the next 5 years because we're going to have 8 and 4 teams, and we're going to have you all and Ohio State and Georgia and all these elite institutions just be guaranteed a spot in the college football playoff every single year by just literally rolling their helmets out there and just beating up on 8 or 9 cream puff opponents. It's like, I talked about you are what your record says you are. Why do you think Notre Dame and USC canceled their series? It's because for USC, they're thinking, well, I could play UC Chattanooga Southwest State and get a win, or I can play Notre Dame and potentially lose. And if I'm 11-1, the committee's going to view that as automatically better than 10-2. Despite losing to Notre Dame 27-24 is much better than beating up on Southwest Louisiana State.
Well, I'm going to read this $5 super chat from K and the D's for another one. And he says, I'm sorry about my girlfriend. She's friends with corn stars and she's crazy. Okay. Well, we appreciate the $5 super chat, Caden. And, you know, it's a wild night tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's not even New Year's Eve yet. It's the day after Christmas Day. Everybody's really having fun. There we go. Oh man. But yeah, I feel like honestly, I feel like Pete Bavaria, Notre Dame's AD, Jen Cohen, USC's AD, and Lincoln Riley from USC head coach, that they definitely should be punished by being forced to be around Bert Kreischer until like doing his little shirtless routine. I mean, Pat McAfee had to deal with it. They have to deal with him doing, his stupid stuff until they give in to making Notre Dame USC an annual game again and put it on rivalry week.
Right. Well, Jackson, if you want this, then we as college football fans have to push back against the "you are what your record says you are" mentality. Yeah. Because you look at Notre Dame's schedule next year, they'll probably go 10-2, or shoot, I don't even care. They could go 11-1, and you'll have 9-3 SEC/Big Ten teams like Alabama. And people will say, well, they got 2 more losses, therefore they can't be better. And I'm absolutely here to tell you, almost every single 9-3 SEC or Big Ten team will automatically be better and have a better resume than Notre Dame next year, because they play Miami, BYU, and literally nobody else with a pulse. And they only play
better than Notre Dame this year.
Who?
Texas.
Yeah, Texas is easily better than Notre Dame. Like, to me, Texas belongs in the college football playoff. To me, I would have them as the final at-large team. Let's go through the things they did. They beat Texas A&M and destroyed them, a team Notre Dame, at best, would have had to go to overtime with. They went on the road.
3, but again.
Oh, much better than anything Notre Dame did. It was decided. Texas was decidedly better than A&M.
Texas had to play Texas A&M in week 3. They would have lost by 21.
Maybe I can't prove that.
Lost by 21. They sucked at the beginning of the season. They were going toe to toe with Kentucky and Mississippi State in week 5 and 6.
Right, but I did see in week 1 they played the number 2 team in the country on the road, and they only lost to them.
State played them later in the year. They'd have got blown out.
I don't know that. I can't.
In Columbus, yes.
I can't prove that. I have no way to prove that.
Both Sayin and Arch were trash, and as the season progressed, they got better.
Right. I agree with you.
I don't like week 1 games as a representative. I hate week 1 games. I think week 1 games with good opponents should be banned. I can't stand them because we use the A&M the A&M Notre Dame and the A&M Miami, or the Miami Notre Dame or whatever, and the and the Texas Ohio State and all that as examples for how teams are better. And it's like these teams are not good in these early weeks.
Right, but we have to use some. It's a game that plays and it counts the same as every other.
Play trash opponents in the first 2 to 3 weeks, and then play a tougher opponent in week 4. They should do that.
I know, and until they do it, I'm just going to judge it as they're currently doing it. Like, I can criticize the process, but I'm not going to criticize the result.
We appreciate Godfather, and he says, please remember to hit the like button, subscribe to Grace YouTube channel on YouTube.
I appreciate that, Godfather. That's lofty praise. That is really lofty praise, but we appreciate it so much. I get what you're saying, Darrell. I mean, I'm with you. I understand it. I hate using early season games, and people just get stuck on these early season games so hard on determining when a team's better. When, to me, I think both Notre Dame and Texas improved at the end of the season. I think that Texas at the end of the season was better than they were at the beginning of the season.
Right, I agree with that.
I almost think A&M regressed for real. Like I think Texas A&M actually regressed because, I mean, you think about the 4-game winning streak we had, Alabama, and then we regressed, and then we have turned it around again. Like A&M earlier in the year was playing better football than they were in the South Carolina, Miami stretch and the Texas game. That they were beginning to look like garbage late in the season.
Right. And while I do agree with that, and I think that should be a factor.
And I can't stand when people get hung up on one performance that was a long time ago when we have all these other games to stack up to say, yeah, this team is fading.
Right. And I absolutely agree when you stack up multiple performances. What I'm going to say is my point is I hate the opposite of what you're complaining about doing. And that's treating the final game that teams play as the only data point that matters. Like a bunch of people saying Alabama doesn't belong in the college football playoff because they got killed by Georgia. Like anything else in the regular season didn't matter at all. Them beating Oklahoma, or them just barely losing to Oklahoma, them beating Georgia in Athens, them going 7-1 in the SEC doesn't matter. And it's like, goodness gracious, they beat Vanderbilt, they beat Missouri, they beat Tennessee, all pretty good teams. And for them just to completely discard it, people to discard it and say, well, they lost to 21 against Georgia, so they automatically should be back, I think has much damage to the sport as people who only care about the first week of the regular season.
Oh Lord. Oh man, I'm just laughing at the chat tonight. It's just nice. Oh man, John, if you're still in the chat, I'm sorry you had to hear some of the stuff in the chat tonight. I mean, it's just been a wild night.
No, I know it's a joke. No,
this is actually the light. This is actually some light stuff compared to what we were seeing in the chat.
Can I ask, by the way, how is Will and Dean doing? I haven't heard any of the Notre Dame contention since Miami beat them and everybody was telling them Miami would get in over them, and they were just delusional and saying no, there's no way. So how is Will and Dean doing, Jeffrey?
Will is doing all right. Me and him
he's doing
earlier
all
this
right.
week. He's doing fine. I mean, he's still upset about it because he feels that his team should have been in, and I agree.
Well, his team should have beat Miami. They should have won the game.
Only two teams that they faced that were around them in the rankings that they lost to in the beginning of the season is what kept them out. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
I mean,
who controls Notre Dame's schedule,
Jeffrey? But to me, Notre Dame was playing better football at the end of the season than both Miami and Texas A&M.
Now, let me ask you this question: who controls Notre Dame's schedule?
Pete Bravacchia.
Right. So Notre Dame
is that they can't really schedule that many teams because of the fact that they middle weeks of the season. What are all the teams playing? Conference games. They can't schedule those teams in conference play. It's not like that they can schedule Texas A&M in the latter part of the season because of the fact that Texas A&M is playing in the SEC. That's why.
Well, maybe this is just
and then lose to these teams, and then they improve as the season goes along. It happens every year. Notre Dame plays better football at the end of the year than they do at the beginning of the year, like every year. Now, especially with free. Clearly they look better at the end of the year, but they get judged by performances at the beginning. I mean, literally Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois, but made the national championship game.
Right, but to me, Notre Dame needs to.
Notre Dame this year was basically just as good.
Right, but we don't have any way to prove it because they played.
Actually, about not playing tough teams, Notre Dame really should just play nobody then, because if they go 12-0, they'll be in every time.
Absolutely, and I think that's what they're going to do, and I think it's absolutely.
And that to me is sad.
Yes, exactly. I am absolutely
sickening, and I don't give a flying flip what anybody says about that. That's a joke.
Yes, it is.
Flipping joke. The fact that Notre Dame missed the playoffs for playing people when literally the year before they lost to a MAC school, made the playoffs, and went to the title game.
Well, to me, it should go not just based on your record. It should go based off of metric results and your resume.
Notre Dame's metric results were better than Miami's and Texas A&M.
Right, but then they played. My second point was you have to beat some elite teams, some teams at the top, and Notre Dame to do it. To me, their metrics were not a product of them being elite. It was them getting fat and happy on beating bad football teams. And that's all they played. They dominated Boise State, who went 8-4 in the Mountain West. They dominated a bunch of G5 and ACC schools when the ACC may be in the worst conference, the one of the worst Power 4 conferences in a very long time. So to me, I look at Notre Dame, and I don't know if they play Miami this week. I don't know if Notre Dame beats Miami, because I think Miami as well has improved over the course of the season.
I think they would, but again, I can't prove that. I
Right.
think they would.
Well, we
Don't
They
know.
beat Texas A&M for sure.
Maybe, probably, but
Well-
I have to honor the head-to-head result, and Texas A&M did beat Notre Dame.
Well, ship has sailed on Notre Dame for 20.
We know the ship has sailed. The problem is, Jackson, is it's only going to get worse from here. What me
Well,
and Darrell are
true.
arguing is because what you're saying. I'm only bringing this up because of my friend Will and you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't care. But what is happening right now, it's becoming more and more obvious that what Darrell is saying is becoming true. That is why Notre Dame and USC have dropped the game. Notre Dame is going to get rewarded if they play literally nobody with a pulse and go undefeated. If they do that, they're in the play. They will be in the playoffs every single year if they just play nobody and they get in. The problem is it's all about the playoffs. It's all about making the playoffs. If you left it at 4 or you left it at the BCS, then it didn't matter. But now that it's all about making the playoffs, that's why they're wanting to axe the rivalry games, which you hate that. You can't stand that. And I'll agree with you. I like the rivalry games, but why play them when you can play UC Chattanooga like Darrell said? It's all coming together. All the things that we don't like about the sport is coming together. And that's why I defended Notre Dame being in the playoffs. Because metrically, they deserve to be in. Optically, they deserve to be in. They lost a couple of tough games that they played early in the season, but that killed them. That left them out of the playoffs. But again, whatever. It's just justifying the point that playing nobody is actually better.
Right, and I think, Jeffrey, my prediction of where this is going to go is, if I'm Greg Sankey or Tony Petitti, what I would do is I would get rid of certain rivalries within the SEC, like Alabama, Tennessee, and I would replace Alabama. It would be Alabama, Mississippi State. I would intentionally make it to where the top 5 or 6 programs always play the bottom 5 or 6 programs. So Alabama gets fat and happy playing Kentucky, Arkansas, Mississippi State, and those level teams every single year. That way, at the end of this season, you have a bunch of 10-2 and 11-1 SEC teams, and you have a bunch of 3-9, 2-10, or 4-8 SEC teams. And then the committee's going to be like, well, they won 10 games and they're in their SEC, so I guess we're taking them all in. And you'll have like 6 or 7 SEC teams in the playoff every single year. I think that's the next step in evolution of college football, is we're going to lose in-conference rivalries.
Well, the thing is that if that happens, man, what the people could do, right? The power of the people is be like, screw this. We hate this. We're not watching this crap. But people are still going to watch the blowouts. They're going to watch these crappy games because it's all about the playoffs until college football becomes just like the NBA, where nobody gives a crap until the playoffs.
Right. Right. And you look at some of the playoff games, and what I'm hopeful is going to turn the tide on it's only matters about the playoffs is you see the TV ratings for the playoffs. Alabama, Oklahoma got by far or the most viewerships at like 16.4, 15.4 million, something like that, which is still 3 million less than the Big Ten championship game and 3 million less than Michigan, Ohio State. James Madison, Oregon got 4.4 million, which is less than Ole Miss versus Mississippi State, for goodness sake. So I'm hopeful.
Because nobody cares. People like rivalry games. People like tradition. People like games that matter.
Right. I'm hopeful.
In a game, a Tulane Ole Miss and a James Madison Oregon doesn't freaking matter. An Ole Miss Mississippi State game for the trophy, the Egg Cup, matters because we care as fans about rivalry games. And we don't need to get rid of them. And I agree with this guy over here, my good friend Jackson. I agree with Jackson. But the problem is like you're saying, they're butchering the reasons you have these games. They are butchering them.
Yep.
Absolutely. So
they need to be hurt in the pocketbook for doing this, like you just said, with the views being crap. If the views are crap, if they replace Bama Tennessee with Bama Mississippi State, then nobody needs to watch that game, including us. We need to not watch that game. And we need to be like, because you got rid of Alabama Tennessee for this, we're not watching it. 0 people watch it. And then we'll go live after the game and say, well, we didn't watch any of the game because of the fact that we don't care that we won 50-0 because we wanted Bama Tennessee. And then they change it back. But see, what will happen is that enough people will watch it where they're like, well, it doesn't matter. And that's a shame.
Yes, it is a shame. And unfortunately, I don't see how we can really avoid this problem. I think it's just something that's going to happen. And then, it's just a learning experience for those people at the top that not more is better at all times. You need quality instead of quantity. And I'm hopeful maybe 3 or 4 more years of these lousy games will get it through their heads, but who knows for sure.
It's like, and this is like an analogy I'm going to use. It's like when you have Gravity Falls for 2 seasons instead of just having it for 10, 20 seasons like these other shows, quality over quantity. That's what the guy who created Gravity Falls said. Because he's like, I want to do 2, 3 seasons. Don't mess with it. That was it.
Well, it's the same thing with, again, Steven Hillenburg with SpongeBob. He wanted the show to end after the movie. He didn't even want to make the movie. He wanted it after a couple seasons, but Nickelodeon was like,
yep.
So SpongeBob is Mickey Mouse for Nick. And that's the only reason that even the network's still going. But yes, I agree. I mean, you if you have autonomy over your product, then you want to end it when you want to end it because you realize your creative limits. You had a great idea. You've got enough storylines for a few seasons, and then you're done. It's over with. You're going to run out of steam, and it's going to become trash. Like every single show that goes on longer than a few seasons becomes trash. And I agree with Steve here as well, putting college football games on networks that have nothing to do with college football makes no sense. Nobody wants to watch college football on TNT. TNT is a hockey channel, and it was an NBA channel before they moved it away from that and put it back on NBC. And I think TBS does baseball sometimes. I don't think TNT does. But I mean, like TNT is not a freaking college football channel. I mean, they got those little Big 12 games on there, like Baylor and whoever the flip they're playing on TNT, and it's like nobody's watching this, man. Like it's just a sub-rate network to have a college football game.
Well, to me, it was very telling when ESPN sub-licensed those games out to TNT. That tells me even ESPN understands and knows that there's not 12 teams that can win the national championship in any given year. It's just
and the fact that they had Tulane and James Madison in it instead of Texas and Notre Dame,
right?
Or Vandy and Notre Dame,
right?
It was obviously
better games.
Yeah. It's because the rule that you have like the 5 highest ranked conference.
See, here's the other problem. We know about that. That's another ship that sailed, and they're trying to reconfigure all that crap with the 8-4-3-1-2-9 model or whatever the flip. I made the Beverly Hills 90210 joke before. I'm not going to do it again. But the thing is that these neutral site games suck. The problem is because they want to keep the bowl games alive. So the bowl games are the playoff games. We all know this too, but that's why, like the Rose Bowl, Alabama and Indiana is the Rose Bowl because the Rose Bowl used to be the Rose Bowl. It used to be a bowl game. Pac-12 champ, Big Ten champ, but now it's just whoever is in the game that makes the playoffs. So, like the bowl games were great. It was your reward for going 10-2 and winning your conference or whatever. Now it's just, oh yeah, you're in the playoffs. So it so happened to be the Rose Bowl and the Orange Bowl and the Sugar Bowl and all that crap. It's just stupid, man. It's just so stupid.
Right. To me, what I would prefer is if they just keep the Rose Bowl name and logo and all that stuff. Just move that all over to Indiana. Just replace the IU with the Rose Bowl symbol in the middle of the field, and just call that stadium the Rose Bowl for that game. And then whoever gets the 1 seed in the Big Ten, or whoever the highest seed is in the Big Ten, their host game for the second round is the Rose Bowl. I would prefer that either, because there's nothing special to me about having the game in Pasadena, California anymore. It's not even the Rose Bowl, it's a college football playoff game. The fact it's called the Rose Bowl and played at the Rose Bowl means nothing. Means absolutely nothing anymore. Nobody, like you, who was the Rose Bowl last year? Nobody knows, because they just remember, oh, it was a college football game, a playoff game. So, and that's the only way you can keep bowl integrity alive with the playoffs, in my opinion. And the fact that Texas Tech, Indiana doesn't get a host home playoff games, despite being one of the four top seeds, is ridiculous. They should get as a reward for being one of the four best teams in the country this season. Instead, Indiana fans have to travel all the way to California just to see their football team play. They got to travel 2,000 miles to watch their team play. It's stupid.
Yeah, and again, it used to not be dumb, because before it was a celebration. You know, your season's over and you made a bowl game. But again, bowl games are just completely irrelevant. I'm watching one right now, this Serve Pro First Responder Bowl between UTSA and FIU, which is a complete crapshoot. I only have it on for background noise, you know, or for, it's not even noise because I got it on mute, but it's just on right now while I'm doing this. But the thing is, I mean, I would be interested to see the ratings for these games. I bet they are absolutely crap. I bet the ratings are awful for these games.
Well, Darrell, we've got some other callers on the line, and I just want to ask before we get to our next caller, what's your score prediction for Alabama, Indiana in the Rose Bowl?
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to go Indiana 24-21. I think the separating factor in this game is I believe Indiana will not make the key mistake down the stretch. I believe Alabama will make the key mistake down the stretch. I don't know what that mistake will be, but it could be a turnover, a costly timeout, some miscommunication, maybe a missed field goal. Indiana this entire season has been buttoned up. They've been a lead at just doing all the small things correctly. But as a college football fan, and somebody who hates the playoffs, and somebody who hates the idea of expanding it even more, if you want a leg to stand on, root for the Alabama Crimson Tide, because there would be nothing more glorious than to laugh at all these people that wanted the expanded playoffs, only to see Ohio State win in 2024 despite going 10-2 in the regular season. Then the next year, an Alabama team that goes 10-3 win it all. So I'll be rooting for Alabama, even though I picked Indiana. I want Indiana to win. I want to be right, but I'm going to be rooting for Alabama solely so we don't expand the college football playoff. Anyway, guys, with that said, gentlemen, roll Tide.
Roll Tide, roll, and go Kentucky for you.
Appreciate it, Drill. You have a great night.
And we've got our next caller. We've got Hunter Ketchum. And then afterwards, we're going to end it with Sports Talk with Austin. How are you doing tonight, Hunter? Long time no see. Good buddy.
Hey, man. How y'all doing?
Oh, doing pretty good. How are you doing tonight? How's Christmas for you, man?
It was good, man. Just spent some time with the family and just I had to work today. When we're down in Destin this weekend at 30A for a little quick family getaway for a couple of days, and then back to work for a couple of days, and then New Year's.
There you go, man. Oh, what's on your mind for tonight, man? You said about Alabama, Indiana?
Yeah, I am. So I know Jeffrey over here is an Indiana guy, so I haven't paid that much attention to Indiana. I mean, other than them playing Ohio State. I kind of thought that they would get destroyed by Ohio State in in the championship game. But apparently, that didn't happen. I guess they're a lot better team than what I even my preconceived notion was. So, what do you think, Jeffrey, that the keys to the game here are for Bama?
I mean, I think the key for Alabama in my mind is that Ty Simpson has to outplay Fernando Mendoza. I think that Indiana is going to run the ball better than Alabama because they've run the ball very well all season, and they even ran it pretty well against Oregon and Ohio State. Alabama's not run the ball that good, and I don't think they're going to run the ball that well against Indiana either because Indiana's front seven has been great, and they have not given up a lot of big runs this year. So I don't think really the run game is that big a deal. I think that Alabama has to find a way to get leverage on Indiana secondary, which has been actually very good. Indiana secondary is one of the best in the country. They've been highly rated. They got two guys that are going to be playing on Sundays, and a lot of teams have struggled to go downfield on them. But if Alabama can do that, then I think that they'll have a good shot because Mendoza, as good as he is, a lot of people have pointed out that in the tougher opponents that they play, like Ohio State and Oregon, his stats have not been as good. And I think a lot of it's because even though Indiana's offensive line is a lot better than it's basically ever been in history, which a lot of things Indiana's been better at than they've ever been in history. But the O-line for sure, they've had some really bad O-lines in the past, which is why they were no good and why Penix got destroyed every year he was there. Plus, he is kind of fragile, but still, Indiana's O-line was trash. Indiana's offensive line still allows Mendoza to get sacked. And even though he is mobile, he's able to get pressured a decent amount. So if Alabama's defense is able to pressure him and force him into an error or two, and Ty Simpson plays well, I think Alabama can win. But if Ty Simpson's getting rattled, he's getting sacked, because, I mean, Indiana sacked Julian Sayin 5 times. And all season, Sayin had been sacked 6 times. So, I mean, if Indiana's sacking Ty Simpson 5 times, that's not good. I think it's going to be a big-time quarterback battle, and I think it's going to be whoever is able to sit in the pocket longer and pick apart defenses and who's able to find the receivers downfield and not make the mistakes. Indiana has not turned the ball over hardly at all this year. They've been a very mistake-free team. Alabama has turned it over more, but Alabama didn't turn it over at all against Oklahoma. If they don't turn it over, Alabama's got a really good shot. I mean, they're the way more talented team, but Indiana's been so well coached. It's unbelievable. So coaching versus talent, mistakes, versus quarterbacks, it could go either way. It's a really 50-50 game to me. I think it is the best game in the quarterfinal. That's not just because I'm biased because, I love Alabama and I like Indiana too. I'm not, being biased in that regard. I really think it is the best game in the quarterfinal. And I think it's going to be a 1-possession game either way. I did pick Indiana, but I think Alabama very, very well can win. They just can't turn it over, and Ty Simpson has to play well.
So here's my really good question here for you. In your heart of hearts, who are you going to be rooting for?
Alabama, because they're my favorite team. Indiana, I would like to see them win too, just because of the fact. I would like to see them win too, just because it's one of the greatest stories of all time. And I think that it would suck, if they did lose, because people say that they were no good. They shouldn't even have still been there, because there's a lot of people that believe that. I never wanted this game to happen. Alabama and Indiana should not have matched up, but I think they purposely did it this way. But again, the committee, I think they purposely did this. But I mean, I'm gonna root for Alabama, but I mean, I'm not going to. I'm gonna be upset either way. If Alabama loses, I'm gonna be sad. I will be sad if IU loses too. But I mean, I want Alabama to win, but I want it to be a great game.
Well, here's the thing that gives me good optimism about Alabama. In going into this game, one, I think Ty gained a lot of confidence against Oklahoma, and so he's kind of peaking at the right time. You've seen a different quarterback in the second half of that game, in the second quarter and beyond of that Oklahoma game. We've seen him like he was playing mid-season, and so he'll be healthier. I think our overall team will be healthier. And outside of Ohio State, this is going to be the best defense that that Indiana has faced. And I think with having LT Overton back and having some other guys, some other pieces to the puzzle, it's not even really that they're starters, but it's guys that are rotational guys. And I think that we just have the momentum going into this game because I think what Alabama's, from a psychological standpoint, is I think that when the committee put us against Oklahoma, it was the committee giving us and saying, okay, you want to be in the playoffs? Fine. Here, go beat Oklahoma, the team that you've struggled to beat the last 2 seasons. And so, um, I think this team it can seem that they can overcome a lot of adversity. And I think that Kane Womack realizes now that he can win with aggression on defense instead of having to kind of play a little bit more relaxed. So I think we're going to see some aggressive play calling on defense from Kane Womack, and I think that at this point the Indiana is going to get every trick of the sleeve of the Ryan Grubb has and Kalen DeBoer has at their sleeve to win this game. So for them reasons, I'm confident in Alabama. I think we're going to pull this game out. Um, so I would say that we're probably going to win. I'm going to say the game's probably going to be like a 28-24, something like that. Very close, but I think Alabama pulls out because I think we just have more experience winning when adversity strikes.
There you go. It's always a fun ride, man, especially getting to hear your takes. It's been a while since we got to hear from you, Hunter, and we're glad to see you, man.
Yeah, man, it's been a busy lately, but yeah, just I mean, you look at the Oklahoma game, and I thought we were dead in the water. I mean, honestly, I hate to say it, but it's kind of true. I kind of gave up after the first quarter. I thought, well, here we go. This is our fate.
I was telling Godfather say on the foot where Godfather was like, I'm going. I'm like, game's not over yet. Goodbye. We've got plenty of time. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Well,
We've
well,
got plenty of time left in the game.
a part of me was like that, but a part of me was like, oh. But let me tell you something that happened in this game, and this is the honest to God truth. I swear to you, I'm telling the truth. So me and my dad are sitting there watching that game, and I looked at my dad literally 2 seconds before it happened, and I looked at my dad. And I said, "You know what would be great right here is a pick six," and that's exactly what happened. Like literally 2 seconds later. Was that pick six? So I thought once we tied it up, I thought the momentum was in it was in our favor, and I thought that if we could just do enough on defense to hold Oklahoma off, I thought we'd win that game. That we were going to win at that point. And so that's exactly what we did. But I think I've seen a lot of positives coming out of that game, and I think this team might be peaking at the right time.
There we go. I mean, that's as the Swami once said, that's why they play the games.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Alabama might be peaking at the right time. I mean, they played really bad for about a month, and before that, they played very well. And now they're playing presumably well again after starting out 17-0. So, I mean, there's a really good chance that carries over. I mean, we saw Ohio State after they lost to Michigan completely blitz everybody in the playoffs. So, I mean, anything's possible. I mean, Alabama's got the talent to be one of the three best teams in the country. I mean, that's why, a team I've said for probably 3 or 4 weeks now, in my opinion, the 4 teams that can win it all are Georgia, Ohio State. I think Indiana has a chance if they can get by Alabama. I think they have a chance to get to the championship game and will give it their all. And I think Alabama has a shot to win it all as well if they also win this game. That's why Jackson believes that the winner of this game can make it all the way to the game, the title game, and possibly win. I think that the winner of this game can make the title game for sure. But other than that, I don't really think any of the other teams. I know some people argue Oregon or Texas Tech or whatever. I mean, you never know, but I don't think it's likely.
So let me ask you. So forgive me for not knowing this, but if we win this game, we would be playing the winner of who?
Oregon,
Texas.
Texas Tech.
I think that both Indiana or Alabama will win. Whoever wins the other game.
Oh, agreed.
Right.
But yeah, because
Well,
I mean, the winner of Alabama, Indiana is going to the Natty. No questions asked, honestly.
well, here's another thing that I think tilts it in Alabama's favor too, and I'm still in this for Jimmy Stein.
Oh man, Jimmy, love that
So,
guy. We
so
had him on Alabama the Voice of College Football.
yeah. So, um, sometimes teams like Indiana, and we've seen, Oklahoma fall victim to this. Sometimes too much emotion going into a game, and too much hype, can work against you. And I think that, maybe, Indiana's coming that game very motivated to win that game, and all that emotion could work against them. Kind of like we've seen, with Oklahoma, after that first, half and that first quarter, and then all that emotion, and then, that kind of worked against them, going down the stretch. So that might be another component to this.
Well, there we go, man. Well, Hunter, thank you again for calling. Goodbye. We will definitely be seeing you soon. You stay safe, stay warm. It's cold out. Well, depending on where you're at, and roll tide, Hunter.
Roll time, man. See you later.
Roll Tide, Hunter. You have a great night.
And we're going to end the show with the last two callers, Burks and Sports Talk with Austin. And, it's always a fun ride. And Austin, thank you again for getting us started that first super chat of the night on Alabama the Voice of College Football.
You're welcome, fellas. Anything for my bros up there. But Jeffrey, I want to push back on your comment about or Jackson. You agree with Jackson, but I want to push back. The winner of this game being the team that's going to the Natty. Do we not think Texas Tech, with that defensive line and the way they play defense, can't give either Bama or Indiana a heck of a game?
I mean, it's not a given that both Alabama or Indiana would win. I just think it's very likely. I think it is more than like a 60% chance that the winner of Alabama Indiana makes it to the title game. It's not to say that they will. I mean, they could still lose to Texas Tech or Oregon. I just think that it is more than likely that Indiana or Alabama would make it to the title game. It's not to discredit Tech or Oregon. I mean, we got to see what Tech and Oregon do. I got questions about both teams.
Well, we got to see what Indiana and Bama do.
So,
because
yeah,
they
absolutely.
could look awful in this game.
Absolutely.
It could be a 10-3 type ball game. Defense wins the day.
I don't think Oregon would destroy Alabama at all. I mean, Oregon, everybody's talking about how Ohio State hasn't played anybody. Well, what's Oregon done?
They haven't done anything.
That's why I don't understand why some teams get this argument. Well, they haven't played anybody, but then other teams, people just don't even look at it. It's not like Oregon's done it.
Because you know what it is, Jeffrey? Because the perfect way to confess something is to project onto other people.
Well, see, here's the thing. Oregon
That's
did
what
beat
Oregon's doing, is projecting.
Well, so did Notre Dame.
That's what I'm saying, though. You asked what they did, though. I was just answering your question.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying that nobody cares that Oregon beat USC, just like nobody cares that Notre Dame beat USC, because most college football fans have deemed that USC is no good, which I disagree with. I think USC was a pretty solid team. But again, it's there is a preconceived notion with the vast majority of college football fans these days about which teams are good and which teams are not. If you're not good, then nobody's going to say that's a good win. I mean, Alabama beating Georgia in Athens is a good win, no matter how you slice it. Indiana beating Ohio State is a great win in the Big Ten championship game. But USC and Notre Dame, or Oregon rather, and Notre Dame beating USC is not a good win. It's just not good.
See, here's the thing with to Steve's point about Oregon destroying Bama, and this is all hypothetical. The one thing Oregon has is speed. And what is the old saying? Speed kills. That would be the thing that would fall in their favor. Does Bama have enough speed to keep up with everybody with Oregon? We'll have to see. I mean, Indiana's got some speed. Now, we'll have to see. I'm going to find it interesting because you all have talked about this. I'm kind of curious to see how Bama's O-line does.
Well, I'll tell you this, Austin. You're going to love how we break down Alabama, Indiana, especially real soon because, like, as I said earlier on Crimson Tide Live with Travion tonight, Bradley and Alec from the Indiana channel are going to join Travion, Jeffrey, and myself at 9 p.m. Eastern Time Monday night. And as I stated earlier, yes, we are changing the times for this week because times work best for everyone and all involved, and that's where we went. 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. But afterwards, we should go back to our normally scheduled time. Holidays have been kind of doing the mess around with us for a little bit. Burks. Let's get how are you doing tonight, good buddy? Long time no see.
How are you guys doing? How was your Christmas, man?
Oh, we've been doing all right. I've been eating a lot and I fell asleep on the couch. Jeffrey, I forgot. Wait a minute. I did ask how your Christmas went, Jeffrey, right?
Oh, my Christmas was fantastic. I had a great Christmas. I it's one of my basically it's his favorite time of year. It's a busy time of year, but remembering what the holiday's about and spending it with family and friends and stuff, it's great. And I had a really good time.
You know
That's
what
great.
got me
Yeah.
really thinking about Christmas, Jeffrey? That episode of Hey Arnold the other night, because it was like where Arnold.
The Hey Arnold Christmas is a great special, man. I love that one.
I never watched Hey Arnold ever, like one episode. So
Oh,
yeah.
Birch, you're missing out.
It's,
Really, man?
it's a great episode.
Oh
Really?
yeah.
Dude, so I just want to say you guys nailed it with the Kalen DeBoer not coming to Michigan at all. And I also didn't think Kalen DeBoer was gonna come, but man, there was so much. Dude, I don't know if you guys knew about this, but Courtney Morgan, you guys' AD, he's visiting Ann Arbor. Apparently, he was in Ann Arbor. Did you guys hear about this?
Been hearing a little bit about it today.
Okay.
How
No, I was
much
just wondering.
how much smoke is in that exactly?
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, he was on campus, and they're trying to. I think if that's true, man, then I think they're trying to get rid of Ward. So, but
They should. I mean, that dude has
yeah.
just been a complete moron for the
Oh
university.
my god, clown, dude.
Wait.
Yeah.
I want to give him some credit real fast, guys. He did hire Dusty May, and look what he's doing for Michigan.
No, he didn't hire. He did not hire Dusty May. He didn't hire. Apparently, John Beeline. Believe it or not, he apparently wasn't into Dusty May. John Beeline was the one who gave him, and then after that, Ward is a yes man. He's a yes man. He'll say anything to yes, literally anything yes. So he basically, same with Sharon Moore, like becoming head coach. Jim Harbaugh told him he's going to be head coach. He's like, all right, sure. So that's exactly what happened. But basically, what I do want to say, you guys nailed it with the Kalen DeBoer, and I'm just so happy now that we don't have to root for Kalen DeBoer losing, so we could land him. I thought that was honestly just really weird, honestly, how so much of our fan base just wanted Kalen DeBoer to lose to get him. It just felt weird. But how do you guys what do you guys grade the Kylan Whittingham hire? I give it like a B plus A minus. What do you guys give it?
Around A minus or something like that. I mean,
It's
Yeah.
literally
I
on the
like-
fringe of A minus, B plus.
I think at best this is like a 4-year era.
Exactly.
Because what they're kind of doing is just kind of cleaning the mess up, really.
I still just can't believe he did it. I mean, 10 years ago,
yeah, but
it's all about the championships and the playoffs, man. It's all about that.
I think Kyle just wanted.
But what is Kirk Ferentz going to do? Is he going to go to a big school? He's not. If he does, I'm losing my mind. But I'm just saying, you get what I'm saying, though. Like Whittingham at Utah was fine. It was great. It didn't need to change. And all this talk, Utah firing, that's just insane.
Yeah.
They didn't
why are people saying that Utah fired him?
Apparently what I heard is
No
that
response to
it was the AD apparently and him. They didn't fire him. They wanted him to step down to give I think their DC the head coaching
Morgan
job.
Scaly, the defensive coordinator, to be the
Yeah.
coach. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that they were obviously going to make him the Nets head coach for 20.
Exactly.
that. That's just moronic.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, and you know the issue now with Kyle Whittingham is if he's trash at Michigan, he's going to destroy his legacy. That's what I'm like, like
That's
he's
what
not.
I said.
Yeah.
Does legacy not matter anymore? I mean,
No, yeah, it
Belichick's
doesn't.
legacy
It doesn't.
gone. All
It doesn't,
Belichick
bro.
had to do was
Yeah.
just quit coaching after Tom Brady left for the Bucks. Just quit coaching. Everybody was like, he's a legend, he's fantastic, but he just kept coaching and coaching and coaching and coaching and coaching. Now he's a Publix guy in people's mind. Now he should have been a Publix guy without Tom Brady. Whittingham's legacy was just picture perfect at Utah. And this, if he gets fired at Michigan, legacy's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I'm a Patriots fan, dude, and I'm telling you right now, I think Bill Belichick and Tom Brady are both clowns, bro. Like now, because dude, Tom Brady just wants all the spotlight, all the shit. He should have just been like Joe Montana and just walked away. Same with Jordan as well. But no, he wants to be some paparazzi type douchebag. And then Bill Belichick, bro, he still wants to coach, man. And it's bro, it's a clown show. It's crazy, dude. I feel I'm disappointed with both of them.
Well, Bert,
sports is, like I said, is becoming reality TV.
Oh no, doubt.
It's
Bert,
just a joke. I mean, I clown on it, and everybody's just laughing. I mean, a lot of it I do think is funny, but it's getting just so out of control that it's not funny anymore.
Dude, it's messed up, bro.
To the point where it's not funny anymore.
No, it's not.
I don't think Kyle Whittingham going to Michigan is good for the sport. I think it is bad for the sport. You can clown me.
I agree. I agree. No, I agree. I 100% agree with you.
It's different with DeBoer, a young guy. Whittingham, he's old.
But Kirk Cignetti's old. Kirk Cignetti's old too.
Different. Whittingham was a Utah guy for 30 years.
20, yeah, I know 30. I think you're right. Yeah, 20 as head coach.
Since the 90s as a
yeah. You're right. You're right. 20 as a head coach. 20 as a head coach.
It is insane.
Yeah,
I just think it's awful, and a lot of people will be like, "Man, again, Cignetti is old, yes, but him going from James Madison to Indiana is a different situation." It's James Madison. Utah was good. I mean, they were solidly good.
Dude, they're going to be 11-2. They're going to be 11-2 this year.
I don't know, man. I just don't think it's good for the sport. Like I said, maybe I'm wrong and delusional. I don't care. I just think it's bad for the sport.
No. Well, Bert, what were you going to say, Jackson?
What'd you say, Bert?
What are you going to say? You wanted to say something.
I was just going to ask you how you feel about Alabama, Indiana this week.
Man, I think it could be actually much closer. The way that Alabama played, man, at the end of Oklahoma, they were a little impressive. I feel it'll be closer than you think, but I think Indiana's just going to win, man, because I just feel they're just better coached. Their talent is just I think Alabama obviously has better recruiting stars, recruiting talent in terms of 5 stars and shit. But I think Indiana with a transfer portal and developing the guys, I think Indiana's just gonna win this by I would say 10 points. I'm not really and I'm probably not gonna watch the game, unfortunately, because honestly, I'm just all about Michigan these days, because I'm so stressed out about that head coaching news and all that crap. But now finally we have Kyle Whittingham. We have a head coach. Now I want Ward fired. That's why this whole week has been really stressful for that. But I think you guys should put up a fight, but I think Indiana's gonna win. And I think next year. Now I have a question. Do you think Ty Simpson is coming back or no?
I think so.
He should. He should, man.
I feel like he is.
He should not, dude. I'm telling you right now.
It all depends on how the rest of the playoffs go.
The problem is that this draft class is not that strong.
It's not.
That's
You're right.
the problem. So it is kind of a good time to go. The other problem, though, is that you're making so much NIL now that NFL contracts are not even that much better. Which is
no, they are, dude. What are you talking about? If it's first rounder, dude, first rounder shits on NIL regular. If he's a first rounder,
Yeah.
Now if he's a third, fourth, fifth rounder, then
that's not a guarantee that he will be. That's why
Yeah,
I'm saying
oh,
he
yeah,
can come back.
okay.
I'm saying that it's
Gotcha.
borderline. We
Yeah.
don't know whether he's going to get a contract in the NFL that is way better than what he's going to get in NIL next year at Alabama, because we don't know where he's going to get drafted. He's taking a chance if he goes. I just think that because the draft class is not that strong, he might get drafted higher. And,
okay.
Sorry,
That's exactly what I'm trying to. Yeah, that's
I
exactly what. Okay, that's what exactly. I'm in the same boat as you. Yeah.
So,
I mean, like if he gets drafted in the second or third round, he probably make more in Alabama.
Oh,
yeah, he would. He would.
Steelers will probably
it makes no sense to go, but I mean, if he comes back for another year and then the draft class next year has 7 or 8 first round level quarterbacks, then he's screwed, because he's not going to get drafted that high. I mean, we've seen this happen before where guys that might have been drafted first or second round come back another year and then their draft stock's history.
Like Ty Simpson will be drafted by the Steelers, I'm sure, because I just don't see Aaron Rodgers being I don't know if he's there after 20. It's not likely he's there after 2026.
It cracks me up right now that Dante Moore, in a lot of people's minds, should be drafted first overall. Now I'm seeing a lot of mock drafts that have Dante Moore as the first pick of the draft.
No way. No way.
Like
crazy.
If that's your first pick in the draft, I mean, literally, you've got defensive guys that are more deserving to be drafted number 1 overall than Dante.
Oh yeah, Ruben Bain.
Well, Bert,
or that dude at Ohio State, Reese.
Yeah.
Marvell Reese. I mean, there's way better athletes. I don't get it. I mean, Mendoza has been a trendy pick to be the first overall pick, and I mean, I get it because the dude does have great, arm talent, and he can make all the throws in the pocket. But I mean, I don't really know if he should be first overall either. I don't think it's a strong QB class. I don't.
Yeah, for sure. Berts, before we let you off and get to another caller who's next on the line, how you feel about Michigan, Texas? Who wins that one?
Man, so apparently Whittingham is not coaching the game, but he's going to be starting his head coaching duties, but he's not going to coach that game. That's what I'm hearing. Pogie's going to coach. Dude, apparently it's so under the weather because Michigan's is going to lose apparently a lot of guys. Apparently they're not going to play, but who knows? They may change their decision because Pogge went on a Texas podcast, said all these guys are going to leave, 25, but we haven't seen that yet, right? But Texas actually is losing a lot of guys in the transfer portal. Steve Sarkisian even admitted. So this could be honestly, this is it's so under the weather right now, dude. I can't really make a prediction, but if I were to say it, I would give Texas the edge, but honestly, it could be last year, with Michigan and Bama, and Michigan just somehow won the game, But right now, I give Texas the edge probably by 10 points, I would say, yeah.
All righty, man.
Yeah,
that
that's
sounds
it.
pretty good. Berts, we will definitely be seeing you soon. Stay safe, stay warm. It's cold out. And hope you have a rest of your happy holidays and rest of happy New Year's Eve and a belated Merry Christmas, man.
Yeah, you too. And just letting you know, I kind of added Caden on your Discord just to make the Discord,
why.
with a lot of because then the Discord will not, I noticed your Discord, bro. It's I'm on Darren Talks Balls Discord, and it's really everyone's every day saying something. Yours is a little. Not that many people are commenting. So I think with Caden, I think more people are going to actually start commenting and shit.
Yeah, because he's just going to post about 800 things a day that are completely
I've been letting myself get too busy. That's why I haven't commented too much.
Same.
Yeah, no, he's going to comment. Everyone's going to comment.
To troll Discord all day, unfortunately.
Listen.
Well, thank you again, Burks.
Yeah, you did. I mean, that was a smart move, Burks, because there will be
made it lively. I love it,
dude. I know he's just not gonna shut the hell up, dude. I love it. Yeah. All right, take care, my man.
He'll be writing messages at 3 a.m. probably.
Dude, he's gonna be calling people, bro. He was calling me.
Now. He's doing it right now.
Dude, he was calling me literally at 3 a.m. once.
We'll go ahead and bring our next
He's done that to me, Burks. He does that. He called me
What's up, Lucas?
No fucking way.
Seriously,
All right.
he's calling
Oh.
me at 4 a.m.
Dude, that's actually crazy. All right,
Yeah.
take care. Peace out. Peace out.
Yeah, have a
Hey,
good one, Bert.
You too.
Oh, how you doing
Hey,
tonight?
Lucas, how's it
Long
going?
time no see.
I know, right? How are y'all?
Merry Christmas,
Merry
man.
Christmas indeed. A late Merry Christmas for sure.
No, it's been a minute, man.
We've been cooking up some stuff, dude. We've been trying to cover every single, like I'm telling you, damn near every single bowl game. And we talking every single bowl game. We started off with the Celebration Bowl.
Love the dedication.
We
Somebody's
got
got
to,
to
bro.
still care
Who-
about bowls,
who-
right?
Who is doing this? Who is doing this around the media sphere? Nobody
Nobody
else
cares about
is
bowls
covering
anymore. What happened
every
to Capital
single.
One Bowl Mania?
And hey, is Mark Rogers covering every single bowl game? No. Is Lucas Hill covering every single damn bowl game? You damn right he is. Doing his damnedest to, but damn it, we doing it. Shoot, we had Prairie View A&M's own Jermaine Jackson on the first edition of our bowl game previews, but that's a story for another day. But what y'all feeling about when do y'all play again next week?
Next Thursday, Alabama's
Thursday.
playing on New Year's Day.
You know what's funny?
What's that?
I got a surprise to show y'all. Let me see if I can pull this up. I just wanted to show you guys and let y'all know. Guess whose ass is going to the Sugar Bowl?
Oh, here we go. Let's go.
Nice.
Lucas Hill will be in attendance live in New Orleans for the Sugar Bowl. Trip number 3 of our bowl tour. We went to Mobile for the 68 Ventures Bowl. Went to New Orleans last week for the New Orleans Bowl. And now we get big boy football, all SEC.
Oh, were you at the New Orleans Bowl like filming? I think I saw a little bit of you at the end zone. I thought I did. It was like Patrick Murphy at the 2016 Ohio State Michigan game. I thought it was.
Patrick Murphy.
Yeah, from Buttnuts 247. He filmed that game-winning touchdown of Ohio State in 2016.
I don't know if I showed you guys this, but I took this at the end of the Ventures Bowl, and I'm telling you, this is probably my all-time favorite thing I've ever shot. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Oh, wow. Oh, is that Delaware?
That's Delaware, and the other team is UL.
Oh, nice.
What y'all know about Nick Minicucci?
Ooh,
That's Nick Minicucci.
there we go.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's played well this year for them.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
Brother, I was like a kid in a damn candy store
I'm sure
that
you were.
entire
That's
day. Huh?
I said, I'm sure you were. That's awesome.
Brother, that's our second straight year of going to the Ventures Bowl, and it was just both times we've been treated with just open arms. It's just been incredible getting to go to things like this and just do some other stuff. But dude, we got a loaded bowl schedule tomorrow. What we got?
8
9
bowl
bowls
games.
tomorrow?
8 bowl games
Dude,
tomorrow.
I gotta preview all of these as soon as I get off of here. So I'm gonna probably be up till 1:30 tonight, putting all these together and uploading them. So
Wow.
Nice.
that's what you got to do, boys. But I mean, shoot, I've missed y'all, boys. Just figured I'd call in. You guys are the best. I have nothing but love for you two. I always love seeing the grind that you guys put in. You know, miss y'all so much, man. Miss a lot of people here, man. I mean, y'all been killing it, man. We have nothing but love for y'all. Y'all are always welcome here on the Southern sports scene too. So anytime you guys get a chance, man, y'all hop on in, man. I extend my welcome as always, brother. Y'all already know how we roll out there, man. But yeah, man, we ready for New Year's Day, man. This is something I've been wanting to do for a very long time. And my advice to everybody that's out there that's even watching this, man, take chances in your life.
Yeah.
You know, you never know what's going to happen. You might even get a chance to go cover something that you've been wanting to cover ever since you was a kid, wanting to go as a kid. And going to the Sugar Bowl is awesome, man.
There you go.
It's fantastic advice. Absolutely. I mean, like, a lot of people would love to do that. And like you said, you never give up on a dream, you know? Absolutely.
There you go, man. Oh, man. It's always a fun ride when Lucas is hanging for sure.
We appreciate Lucas. I'm very happy for him on that. It's going to be awesome. And we got Austin for the final conversation of the night. It's getting late. Yeah, got any final thoughts, Austin?
I won't keep y'all too long. We got to tuck Jeffrey into bed, as we know. No, I'm just kidding. Jeffrey tucks himself into bed. I ain't tucking Jeffrey into bed. Dan will bring him his milk and cookies. But anywho, I am excited for your all's game Saturday, and not Saturday. Next Thursday. I'll get my dates right. I do think it's going to be a fun game. And see, here's the thing. I've been picking against you all for a while now. And here's the thing. Everyone's picking Indiana. And guess what? I picked Bama this time. What? Explain that to me. I went 31-28. Bama wins at the end on a field goal. Like, unbelievable. Like, everyone's picking Indiana, and I'm now going to ride the Bama train with you all, and y'all are flipping it on me.
You love upsets, Austin. That's why. You love upsets.
Yep.
Well, see, here's the thing, here's the thing. Realistically, honestly, I picked Georgia over Bama, which that's not an upset, is it? Is that considered an upset? So I can go down the list of the games I picked you on. Picked against y'all. It's been like 3, I think, this year. I picked LSU, Georgia, and I believed I picked you to lose to who did I? Did I pick Georgia again? I might have. But are those upsets?
I have not written off Ohio State, Steve, and you know that.
Nobody's writing them off. Nobody's writing the Buckeyes off. We promise, Steve.
Listen,
we promise, Stevie boy. We promise.
Listen, I'm going to be rooting hard for Miami. I need them to represent my conference good. Go Canes. That's all I'm going to say about that. But I will say this.
I feel like Ohio State's going to smack them, unfortunately, for Miami.
I agree. I mean, you never know. Again, you never know.
I will say
that, but I don't think
Miami, Ohio State is a hell of a lot better than whatever New Year's Eve party we see on television.
See,
oh wait, Voice College Football has New Year's Eve party.
You don't like Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve, man.
Well, Dick Clark rules. I like Dick Clark, but
I know it's sad, man. He's been gone for a while. It's sad.
Yeah, he's been a dead man, unfortunately.
See, and the funny thing,
Ryan Seacrest. I keep seeing those stupid.
Yeah, Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, I don't really care about Ryan because it's like it's nothing personal against him, but it's like I'm gonna tell you right now,
all the music they have on that crap is awful.
If I'm ever going, I can deal with the music. It's just,
the music sucks.
As long as there's a TV where there's the ball game, I'm happy. That's all you got to do to sell me, really. It's like, if you want me to go to a New Year's Eve party, go to one of those little
football.
Exactly. Yeah, because, I mean, New Year's Eve, there's always some football playing, either college football or NFL. You sell me on that, you're good. You got me as your special guest.
So before we go, I do want to ask Jeff for this because I don't think I've heard his thoughts or opinions on this yet. I know Jackson's feeling, and I know Travion's because they told me Tuesday. I'm going to ask Jeffrey now. Jeffrey, what's your feelings on Ryan Williams going to the transfer portal? How you feeling about that? You think that's
I don't like it at all. I think it sucks if it happens.
I don't think
because the thing is that, again, like Whittingham going from Utah to Michigan makes literally no sense. You know, it's just a joke. I mean, like he was a legend at Utah, and then now, you know, he's going to Michigan, and it's just, I don't know, man. And then you've got, you know, Ryan Williams, a guy who's a starting receiver at Alabama. It's like, oh well, he's not getting as many touches, and he had it down here, and he's going to enter the portal. Like, why enter the portal? You're going to start next year at Alabama. It's not like you're going to get benched. I don't get it.
Here's the thing.
I think it would be dumb for it to happen. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but I think it would be stupid.
See, here's the thing, and I said this in the super chat that I sent to Jackson and Travion. He's too good of a receiver to, and I even said this. We've all heard this. I think this is just a sophomore slump. I think people are too quick to sell your stock nowadays because it's just like you have one bad year, they're ready to write you off. Next year, he's going to be a junior. He'll be a junior dog, as Jack likes to call him, and I think he'll be just fine. I think he was just having that sophomore slump of the dropsies and the defense is adjusted to him. You got to think too, when you're a freshman, there's not much tape on you. That's the thing a lot of people don't realize. When you're a freshman, there's not much tape to go by. You're kind of new to the scene. Now that there's a year's worth of tape on someone, defenses are like, okay, he likes this route when it's 3rd and 5. We know what's coming when they do that. Or 3rd and 1, they like to throw this screen. Like there's years worth of tape on him. There's a year worth of tape, and they're like, okay. And like you mentioned, Jeffrey, he's not Jeremiah Smith. He doesn't look like a Godzilla out there. He's a skinny dude. Like, so defense is probably bullying him a little bit more, pushing him and kind of pestering him more. Where Jeremiah Smith, you could take 2 hands and don't even throw him off the spot. Like, that's another thing too. I'm sure his.
Do you think he's going to transfer?
No, I don't. I don't think so. I would. Here's the thing: what teams would he even transfer to if he did? I know that could be a long thing, but what would be his like the top 1 or 2? Would he go to Georgia if he did?
I mean, I don't think that he should transfer. I'll say he doesn't. I mean, I've got no proof on that. It's very possible that he could, but I say he doesn't. I don't think he should. And yeah, I mean, we'll definitely see. I mean, it's gonna be interesting.
I mean, wouldn't it be something if he transferred to Auburn? Wouldn't that be a turn of events?
No, there's no way.
Yeah, Jackson gonna kick me off the show for that one. But
No,
yeah,
you're good, man.
but yeah, just wanted to get your thoughts on that, Jeffrey, because that's swirling around along with everything else. And then the Ty Simpson thing. I mean, if he goes this year, he's got a good chance of getting drafted, obviously, because like you said, the class is more defensive heavy. And you were talking about it earlier, Jeffrey. But do you remember the class with Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ridder? Do you remember that class? You remember that? And a lot of people thought that was going to be a great quarterback class. And look what happened. Kenny Pickett was the first one taken in the 2nd round. And how many of them currently have a starting job as we speak? 0. So you hit and miss. But I will say this too. On Alabama, Indiana real fast. Ty Simpson, I got to give y'all credit. Y'all got it done. But that O-line play, I'm a little worried because you all been getting away with this all year long. I mean, when eventually y'all going to get that consistent O-line play? Like, tell me that, guys. Like, what's the deal with this O-line here? It hadn't been this bad in years.
You got a response for that, Jackson?
Oh, sorry. It was some mess around stuff going around. My bad.
I know exactly what you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
You can kiss your quiet, relaxing chat room goodbye. It's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve with the hot take. Ryan Williams will join Heartline at South Florida. Oh boy. Steve, do you actually believe that, or are you just saying that to get Jeffrey going again?
Ryan Williams going to South Florida would just be sad.
What
Ryan
a ball.
Williams isn't going anywhere. He's not.
Ryan Williams just stay at Bama. It's a joke. It's a joke.
I mean, is Jeremy Bernard coming back? Or is he?
Yeah,
Or
He
is
can
he
go
not-
pro.
He
Yeah.
can go pro. Do you think he will?
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
Which is fine. But like I said, though, fellas, I mean, hopefully y'all had a safe, happy Christmas and holidays. I got me a new pair of Air Force Ones.
There you go.
Apparently that's big in the shoe game. My brother got me a pair. I was like, he's like, you can look at style now. And I'm like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not big into the shoe game. I'm just not. But I think Bama's going to win 31-28, and we're going to see a Bama Texas Tech semifinals game, and it's going to be Bama Tech for the right to go to the national title game. But Godfather Air Force Ones. But yeah,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
man.
Thank you as always for letting me on. As always, have a happy Christmas. Well, it's not Christmas now. Have a happy whatever it is. Roll Tide, roll Cards, and roll Hoosiers. And hopefully they ended a tie for Jeffrey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately, ties don't exist anymore. But
Nah.
I do appreciate that, Austin. You have a great night. Happy New Year to you, and Merry
man.
Christmas as well. And,
Man.
yeah, it's gonna be crazy, man.
Oh, man. It's been a fun night. I'll tell you this. I mean, it kind of feels like New Year's Eve already for some reason. But even though it's not, but it's just kind of feeling like it is. But before we sign off for the night, Jeffrey, what magic are you cooking up this week, man?
Probably go live again. You know, I don't know when exactly, but might go live this week with Will, maybe myself. I don't know. You know, if I got some time, maybe I'll do a bowl game reaction. Maybe I'll do, just a reaction about the portal. I don't know. Definitely gonna be around doing stuff. So, and we're gonna be back obviously on Monday doing the reaction on Alabama channel at 9:00. Or I won't be able to be there, but we'll that's gonna be fun with Alec Keyser and the IU guys. That should be fun. But yeah, definitely check me out on my channel, Only Talk Sports. If you want to hear more content from me, I would appreciate that. Follow me on X as well. But most importantly, subscribe to Alabama, the voice of college football, whether you're a Bama fan or not. We got great fans from all across the college football landscape, like Steve. We appreciate it, Steve. And a bunch of other people. We appreciate Burks and all the Michigan fans and other fans around the sport. And definitely hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year as well. It's been a fun one.
Oh, tell your friends, your family, and the cashiers a post about the magic that Jeffrey's creating on Only Talk Sports, where he talks sports every single day, or at least he tries to. On X and on YouTube, and all right here on Alabama with the Voice of College Football. And check out the magic that we're all making, not only on Alabama with the Voice of College Football, but all over. And of course, you can also check me out on SEC at the Voice of College Football. You can check me out on Jackson Johnson 979, where I'm basically 273 subs away from that magic number 1,000. And for more updates, what I've got going on, the Jat Sony and Alabama at the Voice of College Football, ACC at the Voice of College Football. Check me out on Jats BOCFB on X/Twitter and on Instagram and Threads, Jackson Johnson 543-908. And with that being said, we wish y'all a happy Friday night and a happy Saturday. And to stay safe, stay warm, it's cold out. Like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you never miss another video whatsoever. And thank you all of you. Thank you to Kate. Thank you to Austin. Thank you to all you guys. Thank you to Mary J. Watson SSG. Thank you all for super chat. So with that being said, we wish y'all a happy weekend. Stay safe, stay warm. It's cold out. We will see you Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central Time for the next edition of Crimson Tide Live. And roll Tide.